All right, we are live. Cajun Coin Hunter here with y'all this evening. How y'all are? Dude, I think we got everything done. Let me see here. Uh, yep. Okay, that's live. That part, got to pause that. Get the chat popped out here. All right. Yep. Okay, it's done. That was hiding behind the main scene. And we got the first panelist in here tonight, Mr. Russ. How you doing, mon ami?
What's up, Boo?
Oh, not a whole lot. Going live at 5.
I hear you.
With and it's about summertime. Well, I mean springtime.
Yeah,
If
it
you want
feels
to
good
call it that.
outside, man.
Really?
It's been real blue skies, cool mornings, low humidity, 70-ish, something like that. Just beautiful, man. I wish it'd stay like this year round, but it don't.
Yeah, true that.
I have a
Like
feeling we're gonna
Hawaii.
be in. I have a feeling we're gonna be in for a hot summer with a lot of storm activity because of how hot it's been out west and all that in March. If that's any indication, I don't know. I'm no meteorologist, but my little take on it.
Yeah, but me and you've been around enough to know the weather
Yeah,
patterns, and yeah, I want to say, it has been a warm February and March. Usually for Mardi Gras, which everybody, well, not everybody, but Easter doesn't fall. It falls on a Sunday every time,
yeah,
but it's not. It's not like the third Thursday of the month, or
right,
Christmas, okay, or the Fourth of July. It doesn't have a set date.
right.
Mardi Gras and Easter, it all goes by
The
the
Jewish
12,
calendar.
the 12 days of Christmas,
Yeah,
then the full moon, okay, after that. And it's a little formula that they do.
yes, it's called Nisan, the 14th of the equinox, something around that. It changes from year to year. It's based
Yeah,
on the Jewish calendar, actually, even though
okay.
we're not going to get in all that. But you got anybody else in here? Just me? I don't see
Just
nobody in the
you.
comment.
Just
Just
you
me.
so far.
Well, we'll just do it up then.
Uh, anyway, I had read on it. I had the Llewellyn's moon sign book. It's for
Yeah,
gardening. It's a lot to do. That book has a lot to do with gardening, and they got stories, by different authors, and they got interesting stories in there. You buy it once a year, and it's something like, I forget how much it used to be. It was like $7 or $8, and man, I used to plant by it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
tell you what, man, my seedlings, for my starters and all that, I always had good luck with that book. Always had good luck with it.
I know a lot of people, farmers and all, always depended on that farmer's almanac too.
Yeah,
For
this is
planning.
about the same thing. In fact, the
Yeah,
dates coordinate because you see, moon signs are different than your sun signs.
yeah.
Like I was born, my sun is Aries. That's from March 21st to April 20th, I think, or something. I forgot.
Yeah.
But I'm an Aries. I was
Okay.
born in the first part of April, so that knocks me in Aries. I forget what my moon sign is. I would have to get my exact time that I was born
Yeah.
because it goes into the rising of Sagittarius and the Virgo on the plus side of Jackie Gleason's sidekick.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm Sagittarian. I was born in December, the first part of December. I think the latter part of December gets into, I can't remember now. It's not Sagittarian. It's something else. But anyway, I'm Sagittarian. Yes, sir. What you been up to, boo?
Been working on a set of eagles, golden eagles.
Golden
They
Eagles?
eagles, yeah, golden eagles, Browning golden eagles.
Okay.
It's those old. This set was made in 70, I think, 69, 70. Uh, they tube radios, tube CBs, and this was 23 channel, and they need refreshing. New caps are going in them. Main filter caps.
Okay, it's a radio then. Okay. I
Yeah,
was wondering.
CBs.
When you say Golden Eagle, I'm thinking about the football team up there in Hattiesburg.
Oh, okay. No,
They're called Golden
Browning
Eagle.
Golden Eagle CBs, 23
Yeah.
channels.
What's up,
In fact, I
Demoose?
did-
He said hey
The
to you.
Moose.
He didn't say
What's
hey to
that?
me. So I'll just say hey
The-
first. Hey, Demoose.
There you
Oh,
go.
there
He's
you
got
go.
him right there.
Oh,
I got some parts in for it today. One box. It was kind of running a little late. I got another box coming in. I got another box over there that's full of tubes. He just brought all kind of. I assume they all brand new. He dropped it off in a bunch of them little boxes of tubes and stuff, and I got that in today, and it took a little licking on the truck, as you can see,
what's that?
or somewhere. Parts.
Parts.
But
Okay.
we're gonna. Where's my here? It is. Good coffee. Let's see. DigiKey. I like DigiKey.
That radio part?
Yeah, radio, TV, whatever you want to use them for.
Okay.
They got resistors in here. They got capacitors in here. They got kind of junk in here.
Yeah.
Good packing material right there now.
Hey, mister.
Make your camera big, baby. You can't really see it.
Let me back out.
Yeah,
Back out.
You went a little tight there. There you go.
That's all I can do. Couple of big caps there. There's an axial. What's that? 450 volts, 47 microfarads. Almost. And that's all brand name caps. That's not chong caps like the ones that explode and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
There's Miss Mystic.
Almost everything comes from overseas now. Good Lord.
That's some this is a little. Get it out of here. That's a lubricant, deoxit. Usually you see the D5. This is the F. This is the ones that's safe on plastics and all that. The deoxit, the red one that you see a lot on repair videos and stuff.
Yeah.
That red one, that is that's a contact cleaner.
I
For
got you.
Deutsch plugs, like under the hood of cars. You know, you plug harnesses and Deutsch plugs and stuff. That's what the red stuff's for. The green stuff's for faders and all that.
You talking about them Deutsch plugs? I got a whole kit down here with different amounts of prongs. You know, you might have a 4-prong, a 3-prong, a 2-prong.
Right.
There's a bunch of them in there. I haven't had to use it. I bought it just in case I run across something on a car or whatever with a plug. And you know how they'll get a lot of corrosion in them if it's subjected to anything. And then next thing you know, you're overheating and you have a little meltdown. But you can cut that out and then install this new plug or whatever. I haven't had to use. I even got the crimping pliers for it somewhere down here that crimps those little pins. Yeah.
I've got a set of those pliers. I say a set of them. I call them a set or a pair of pliers. I got a pair of those pliers with like 12 different heads that go on them. Dies.
Yeah, different. You pull out on it and you spin it for different sizes, you know. And I'm trying to. It's down here somewhere.
What's up there, cool man? You good to come up, or I can send you a link?
Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, I never seen one like that.
Yeah, I ordered that one. I ordered that kit. Haven't even used it yet, but it's for a variety of different size pins.
What does that set you back?
I don't remember. I've had it for probably close to a year. I just, order stuff that way when I need it. Matter of fact, I used something yesterday. You know how on some old cars they got the air rams that holds the hood up, and when they go bad, the hood you can't keep it up, so you put a
the hydraulic rams, yeah.
Yeah, well, I bought this little thing. It's nothing but a little clamp that clamps over one of the rods when you push it up, and it's got a brass screw in it. You tighten it up, and that'll hold your lid. I've had that for a couple of years and used it for the first time yesterday. I had to check out an AC on a car. But yeah, I'm always thinking ahead.
Yeah, that is nice to have one of them. Usually I use a stick.
Yeah, that's what we did for years.
If it goes out.
They make a telescopic stick, made out of metal that you can use on like a hood prop. But man, this thing works even better. You just open it up and clip it around that rod where it slides in, pull it all the way out, clamp it right around there, and you're good.
All right. Greens with Envy. What's up?
My wife went to get stuff for supper tonight, so whenever she gets back and has it ready, I'll just mute myself and hide myself while I'm eating. I'm hungry. Let's see if she's still up there. Nope, she must have just got home. I see her here. Okay, cool. So you've been doing a lot of radio repairs there at your house, or?
I've just been messing with this one for a while now. Checking values inside of them takes a while for that, because if you get different readings, and we was talking about this in a while back. It's a 10-watt, 22,000 ohm, 22K, 10-watt resistor.
Okay, resistor. All right.
Yeah, big one. I thought I had two of them. I guess it didn't. Unless they put in different bag. Oh, I think I know why I ordered just one, because those things are a little pricey. And it's wire wound. And I got to make sure it's not going to cause any
magnetic whatever.
Well, induction. Because you get a wire wound resistor. I tried that a long time ago with making a dummy load, and with a 50 ohm. What? Guess what? That didn't work. Not for RF, it don't anyway. Cool,
Yeah.
man. What's up?
Not much, man. Yeah, that's. I told you before I brought them down there. You're gonna find so much filtering in it, and it's all to block down noise and RF.
Yeah.
A lot of
It's more-
chokes in there, isn't it?
We're in the radio.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Them
I didn't.
wire rounds, resistors. I call them chokes.
Oh yeah. There's two of them that look like chokes. I think those been replaced because there was supposed to be a 5,000 ohm
Yeah.
in there. In fact, me and you looked at it.
Yeah.
Those two green ones that were hollow.
Mm-hmm.
Those were. It's supposed to be 5,000 ohms. Those two in there are 10,000 ohms.
So it's 20,000, or is it parallel?
No, it's five. No, when you put two in parallel, you cut it in half.
That's right. So it's 10,000.
Make a five. Yeah,
Mhm.
2 tens make a five. And but you double your capacity.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got these right here.
Plus, it dissipates the heat evenly, cooler than on a single resistor. I sent you some pictures of my little mobile collection of Black Cat modulator amplifiers, and I picked
I
up.
seen that one picture you sent me.
I sent another one of the ABC off of eBay. It's I can't remember if it's one. Yeah, it's key in tube with two out. I think it's about 100 watt, 150 watt, maybe. Little mini amp, tube type.
You sent that in a text mix.
Yeah, check your text. You'll see it. It's the first one. It's called ABC Electronics out of Chicago. Looks like that's probably mid 70s.
Oh, this was the first of the month, right? Talking about
No, I just sent you one.
Oh, you just did?
Yeah, I just sent it just a little while ago.
On a text mix or an email?
Text Mex or text. Me and you been talking back and forth in our a little chat thing we got going. You didn't get it? No pictures, huh? Huh?
Not
Hang
yet.
on here.
Well, not yet. They probably still turning on your phone if you just sent them. If you
I'm
send
on Wi-Fi. It went straight out, I think. Let me check.
Wi-Fi there, that's down and dirty there. That takes even longer. That's
Let
why
me
this
see.
laptop, it
It
don't have
shows you.
it don't
I
have
guess it
Wi-Fi.
didn't go. Hang on here. Y'all go here. I gotta go back to eBay and see why I didn't see them. There should be one of them with a table in there, but it didn't make it either. All right.
I got them two other ones that you had sent. Ooh. Like I said, that was a couple of weeks ago.
No. For some reason that didn't go through, I guess. Oh, they won't let me send it. Okay, I see what it is.
You didn't hit send?
Not yet. No, what they did was they blocked it on when you buy something off of eBay, it won't let me send the image.
Okay.
I got to take a screenshot of it and send it to you. I can't can't believe this
Or
didn't go to you.
you bought them?
Huh? Yeah.
You bought them? Okay.
All right. I'm going to send this again. Let's see if this one will get over.
I don't know what. That looks like a perfect match.
That's two mobiles. The one on the left, that box is the original box it was in. The one on the right looks like it's never been hooked up to anything, dude. The far right one.
Don't see them yet.
You kidding me? It ain't got to you? I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. Oh, I see. I see. They ain't gonna let me send that shit.
UDX 358 Cody here. Okay. We'll bring it in.
Screw it.
I know him from 21's channel, and I know some homesteaders, channels also. When you're in the gardening, gardening and cooking, you got a channel about that. I met a bunch of homesteaders a long time ago before I had my coin channel, and there was one couple. They from up north up there. They left the city to go in the country. And I mean, when I say off grid, I mean off grid. There's no power lines going to their house. They built their house out in the woods, with modern material, and they got solar panels. Now I'm not leaning toward solar or against solar. Too much solar is a big issue, especially when it costs us money. In Indiana, remember that tornado a couple of weeks ago that hit up there and destroyed a whole town and a couple of towns? It went through, there's a solar farm up there in that state. Well, a lot of states, they got solar farms, but man, I didn't know these solar farms were this huge. I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of acres, okay? I'm talking about solar farms, hell, bigger than the city of Lafayette, Louisiana, bigger than Gulfport. Solar farm, all these, panels on these poles in the ground and all that copper wire going under to batteries and everything, bigger than the city of Gulfport. These fields of solar panels went on for miles. I'm like, damn, well, a tornado ripped right through them things. That's billions of dollars right there and wasted. Yep. And then they're gonna ask, who for man, we need $5 billion to repair all this. Well, 7 years and 25 billion later, it still ain't got done. That's I'm predicting the future, on that one. There's as a homestead, yeah. Solar is, it's small, it's user friendly. You ain't got a lot of money tied up in it. Your money's tied up in batteries, and then you can repurpose them things. You got a little refrigerator in your house. You got your solar heating. On the roof, you got solar that the sun heats it up. On my little shrimp boat, when I was running that shrimp boat out of Mississippi Sound, my water tank was on top of the cabin of the boat. It was just, for a shower. It wasn't drinking water. It was, well, you could, but I carried drinking water in a gallon jug and bottled water. That the one on the top of the roof, that was just for taking a shower. Get all that old shrimp juice off of you at the end of the shift. Because in Mississippi Sound during the brownie season, there's only 2 or 3 days you're gonna shrimp in the daytime, and that's for the opening. The first 2 or 3 days of the open shrimp season, they thick, you're gonna catch a bunch. And after that, after all them boats swipe through there for a couple of days, all your shrimping's at night for brownies. They see that net coming in that clear water. Anyway, so we shrimp that night, slept in the daytime, and uh, that water's hot in that tank up on the roof. That water is hot.
I think they made it to you, the pictures. You got to go around eBay. It won't let you send it after you take a picture of it or buy it. They block the image somehow.
Hmm.
Did it get to you?
Not yet, no.
It shows over here you got it. I don't know what the hell's going on. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I done tried everything, so for some reason it's not going through.
I can look at it on the laptop. What's the name of the store?
No, I done bought them. I was taking pictures of it here at the
It don't
house.
matter. I can look in that store in their soul section, and it'll pop up. You go in the soul section of that store, and it'll show you everything they sold. I forget how far back it goes, but
yeah, but for some reason I sent you all different ways, and for some reason it ain't making it down there to you. I don't know if it's on this end or what. Screw it. But anyhow, I got a little ABC 2-tuber amp. I'd like to turn it into a modulator.
I got a built-in modulator in my radio.
I've seen that chip.
It's a 22. It's a 2SC 2290 Toshiba pill.
Oh,
and it's instead of two 1969 or 2312 finals, instead of two of those, it's got a 2290 pill in it.
Oh,
it's got
get up and scream.
Oh, that thing, yeah, man, that do like dead key 4 watts, 5 watts, and that's
swing 80,
swing about 65, about that little. I put that black cat. I mean that dozy I got from you. I put that in line, and I printed out a
label,
a picture, and that way, till it's the same as my other one, my black cat. It's the same thing.
Well, what you can do is take a picture of that, and there's them label sites where you can get them to make you the labels.
I'm gonna eat this. I can still hear y'all, but y'all won't be able to see me or hear me.
No,
so you got some parts in. I seen.
Yeah, I got some cats. Some I don't put the box down.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I ain't got to see nothing.
I got a little thing of deoxit, the little tube. But I also I use a needle when because I've got different kinds of sprays. I've got the fader, the green one. I've got the other kind. Anyway, there's a bunch of caps in here. Got a couple of standoffs. Oh boy, look how cute them things are! Wow.
Hang on here.
That's some little bitty ones compared to the other ones.
Yeah, them cans.
No, a little bit of yellow ones.
Oh yeah, compared to that big pinger cap.
Compared to that big that other yellow one I showed earlier, right here. Nope.
It looks the same.
Same color, just a different size. What is this? Oh, I think these are the ping resistors. 270s? No, that's for something else.
Oh well, that's good. You'll be able to get it up and run a signal through them, man. And check it out the sensitivity and alignment and all that
Oh,
goody
here it
goody
is.
stuff.
Watch, I'll show you real quick. Yeah, I like solar for homesteading, especially when you don't have grids. You know, electricity going to
Yeah.
your house. Look at here.
Oh yeah. Changed a whole lot from them old Spragues.
Yeah, these are Cornell, Illinois, Cornell Doubler,
Yeah.
Illinois, Cornell, and you're looking at two of the best caps they ever made right here. Those style of caps, and then you got Rubicon, Nishikon, Panasonic.
Yeah.
Uh,
When you buy
these
one of those
here,
brand name parts, there's guaranteed quality control. Them no name parts,
right,
you probably get burnt.
right,
Like I
uh,
said,
like
buying the
like
quality is what I want. I'll pay for it.
Amazon, eBay, no,
No, I'd go to
especially not for this.
yeah, DigiKey and
Mauser,
Mauser. Is NEC still in business?
who DigiKey?
No, NEC. You remember the old NEC catalog for
Oh,
your
oh, NTE,
NTE
yeah,
for your chips and shit?
yeah, NTE and ECG.
ECG.
Yeah, in fact, I have the NTE and the ECG books over there. Um,
For
when
this year?
my buddy Barry, he got out of it totally. Out of working on radios, he got out of it,
Yeah.
and he gave me those books because he says I don't think Ralph's Electronics in Lafayette has any. Which it doesn't matter. I have the old ones from I don't know 92 probably or something like that.
Hmm.
So I don't have a lot of the surface mount stuff. They had surface mount stuff back in the 80s. They
Yeah.
used some of that in the space shuttle and all that. They like to use this stuff though in the space shuttle, but them surface mount devices, like high dollar test equipment, like the signal generator. It has a few little surface mount devices in it, but that's all. That was all tested big time before. Let me see. There was that four in here. Yeah, I don't want to mix this up. Uh, they got some surface mount devices in those books, but not much. Today is all surface mount devices.
Yeah. Hell, you got to have a robot to work on them son of bitches to repair them.
You got to have a microscope.
Yeah.
And
And a micro solder that don't overheat the traces.
I've got the micro saw. I've got the tools for it. Not, I mean, I
Yeah.
do. I do it. I'm familiar with working with small stuff like that. I got the microscope. I've got the uh, what is this? Oh, that's a little single one right here. Because I got some firecrackers.
All right. Boom.
Yeah, boom.
I can't wait to get them up and running, man. I want to talk on mine so bad because these kids around here, these youngsters, they've never heard of one. They don't even know what it sounds like. I was trying to tell them, I said, dude, you ever hear an old 72 type AM radio? I said, y'all gonna go nuts and want one.
Yeah.
I said, cause I said, these new stuff are great. I said, they're great, great, great. But I said, uh, back then, the high end guys that built these damn things, I said, like the ones I'm collecting, I said, they got the max out of the audio. They bought the best parts for the audio train. I said, you just got to hear it, man. I said, I can't explain it. You'll know it when you hear it. I ain't even gonna turn the ping on. I'm gonna defeat the ping so they don't even know it does that.
Yeah, you can turn the ping off.
Oh yeah, you pull out. Is it the RF gain or the swelch two position? I can't remember. One or the other.
One of them.
Yeah,
Look at here. Well, uh, I, I can't move it to get it where I want it, but
that's all right.
look at one of the caps that go in there.
Holy moly,
250 volts. Imagine that.
that's a big cap.
Yeah, there's a big old cap in it.
Shit, I remember the size of like in those the radios. I was watching this guy. He's on YouTube. If I see him again, I'll send it to you. Uh, he collects like the first of the semiconductors and stuff, and some of the stuff that went up in the Apollo and the Mercury.
Oh
Eh,
yeah.
Yeah, and they had the handmade geranium diodes that were like about a quarter inch around. They had some of them look like a soup can filled with epoxy or something, and it was some of the first transistors. Damn, there you go. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, there. Yeah. This right here, well, this one here replaces one that's this size in the receiver part.
Wow.
It's not far from the pin cap. Matter of fact, it's right next to the pin cap. And
Can you
it's this.
imagine the heat reduction not running
Yeah.
them big caps?
Yeah.
Man,
And
technology has just got way, way better. This thing might sound pretty good and receive pretty good.
you see, this is 85C right here. Okay. A lot of
Yeah.
people look down on 85. Oh, you should have got 105. Well, that's all you got right here in a 10,000 hour cap though. Not a
Yeah.
1,000 hour. This is a 10,000 hour cap. So you got to look for, and then you're looking for the series also, the toughness of it. Uh,
Them old radios.
and this is not next to a tube, so
Yeah.
they're not going to run hot.
No,
Uh,
but anytime you can reduce the physical size of some of that stuff, it'll take some of the temp down. Uh, it might not be a much, but it'll help. But I was going to say, those old tube types like that, you're better off turn them on and just leave them on. It
uh,
does more damage turning them on and off.
actually, for some things, yeah, you can turn it on, and leave it on, but it just depends. Something of that age, I don't know. I would turn it off.
Oh, I would never leave the house or anything, but like if I'm here all the time, I'll turn it on and just let it sit there and idle, and then
I'm
talk on
aware.
it.
There's some little, I think those are 5 watts.
Yeah.
Uh, 5 watt.
Oh, I found that regulator board on that power supply I'm working on. I found a diode, so I ordered me a set of diode or some diodes for it. Found one that was blown,
What's
and
the
before I
number on it?
changed the chip out, I'm gonna change the diode and see if it brings everything back up.
Probably would. What's the number on the diodes?
I'll have to go in there and tell you. I ain't got it right here, but uh, I
Were they
did some
black or were
troubleshooting.
they
I did some
glass or?
troubleshooting, and if you exceed the current limit, you will blow a diode in that board.
Oh, you found that out?
Huh?
Did you find that out the hard way?
No, man. I looked it up on YouTube and watched a couple of repair
Oh,
guys that are in the Astron power supplies,
uh huh.
and the guy said, "Well." He said, if you don't have a shorted transistor or pass through or shorted and pass through transistors, or your transformer ain't humming and everything seems to be normal and you ain't got no voltage output, He said usually on the smaller ones, he said they blow a diode on that board because you
And
exceed the current, and it blows that to protect it from wiping the other stuff, in the
right, yeah,
chain.
that's what diodes are for, protection. What they black with a silver stripe, or they
Oh yeah,
black
yeah.
with a red stripe?
They're the exact replacements. I got the exact replacements. Uh, I even got you a little extra. Let's see.
Because I've got a million of those them 4002, 4005s,
Oh, this
4007s.
is a 404.
Okay, I've got some 4005s. I've got 500 in a bag
Yeah,
up on
yeah.
top of me.
I've got a whole bunch of. I bought a pack of them. They're cheap as shit, like $5 of them 4004s. And you remember I told you I got those IC chips for the power supply in case it blew the chip. And shit, I don't know. They made a mistake or something. They sent me down 2 sleeves of them, so I'm gonna bring you a sleeve of them.
Wow.
Dummies, man.
Who did that?
I don't know, but it wasn't that expensive either. I think they were like $4 a chip, or no, $5 a chip, or something like that. And I double checked and went and checked my order, and evidently it was on their end in their system. And they sent me, let's see, 10 chips when I
Five,
ordered 2.
5 in a tube or a
Yeah,
sleeve?
5 in the tube. So if you use them a lot,
That's
uh,
that's LSs or LMs.
that's that LM. Here, hold on, I got it wrote down here. Hang on, I'll tell you what it is. Uh, it's a pretty universal chip, I
Yeah.
think. LM 723.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
That's
diode was a
common as
4004.
dirt.
Huh? Do
Common as
what?
dirt. Common as dirt.
Uh,
The
do
chip.
you
That's a
use them?
common one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a common one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
I'm fixing. In fact, I'll be using them. Before the year be over with, I got something a project to build, and it
okay.
calls for one of those
Because if it's just
camper. What's
if I
up,
blew my diode, that
Hermit
maybe I
camper?
saved the chip, and I'll just bring them down there because I don't need them. Not that
Uh,
many.
right. I ordered some Schottky diodes for a TV.
Yeah.
They got a lot of those SB 3 something whatever. Anyway, it's a common Schottky diode. They 3 amps, and I ordered 20. And well, guess what?
Mm.
Some kind of way they added a zero at the end of that.
200?
Sent me something like 100 or something.
Damn.
I'll hook you if you need some. They 3 amp diodes. You can use them as a rectifier diode,
Yeah.
or in a lawnmower, by your coils. They got that harness
Mm-hmm.
coming off of there on your coil, like on a twin or a single cylinder, and they got a diode and heat shrink. Same diodes.
All them little black cat modular little amps that I got, them mobile amps, and then that 200. I got uh 1, 2, 3, 4 good 8417s, and you know how much those are.
Mm. Yeah, no,
Uh,
DigiKey over here, Hermit. DigiKey. No Tim Move for not electronic parts. Now wait,
no.
I take that back. There's a few things that I will get from AliExpress, but it has to be what's up there, David Carlisle? Like those surface mount device transistors. They in those
Right.
little ribbon packs. You peel the little thin film off the top just to get one piece of sand out of there. Those you can't counterfeit. I mean, well, why counterfeit?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
who's
it
gonna
ain't no
sit there?
money in
Who's
it.
gonna sit there and sand the face off of that and put a stencil on it and spray it with paint? Nobody. Not them little bitty things. That's the real deal there. Now we'll get that from AliExpress, but I have stores on AliExpress. AliExpress is like eBay or Amazon. Amazon, you can get stuff with Amazon's name on it, Amazon Basics. Okay, good stuff. That if you see it with Amazon Basics, that's good stuff. Yeah, get it. But like anyway, like eBay, it's not eBay's fault. It's the seller that screws you. That's on eBay on that platform. AliExpress is the same way. AliExpress is a platform like Amazon that has 1 million different stores. And there you go. Oh, is that one you sent me a picture of?
200.
Right. That's
I bought it. I think for $50. I bought it for the tubes and the parts, basically.
Yeah, got a relay in there too. That's worth a pretty penny.
Yeah, and
is that the one you sent me a picture of? A mobile or what?
Yeah, this is base.
Okay, that's for the home. Yeah. That big little resistor in there.
That little trimmer cap's worth some money too.
Yeah, those ceramic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out which one you want out of these radios. I'm gonna bring you down. These are you see them real good.
Yeah.
Here,
okay. Yeah. Hermit, you see those right there? Let me make that big. Hold on. That's what these parts are for, Hermit.
Well, this is an older than the ones I brought down.
Screaming Eagles right there.
Yeah.
Golden Eagles. I call them Screaming Eagles. Yeah,
but that's your receiver.
Most of these parts are fit in those, but I might have one. I probably, after these 2 sets, I'll have to reorder.
Yeah. But I'm going to bring you one of these, and there's the transmitters to them.
Gotcha.
Now, you're going to have to find your own microphone and wire it up a 2-pin.
Oh, I don't want one of those. I mean, you ain't got to give me that. No.
You don't want that kind of radio?
Well, I wouldn't mind having one, yeah, but I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't know. I don't want to offend you and not take it.
I got you. What kind of radio you like? You told me you're into the.
Oh, you ain't got to get me that. I mean, I'm gonna have to do some rewiring to mess with that. I don't have room on my bench. I don't have room for a set of Eagles.
But this is
the one and work area. I do, but then I won't have no work area. I'll have to get my Mr. Daniel.
Yeah.
Why ain't you ever on Theo's chat? Man, I've been hurting so much. In fact, I hadn't went live for, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. I don't go live anymore, hardly. The only thing I do is complain. I holler too much. Right now, I'm doped up, so.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I got to watch the way I move.
This is the one I told you is in mint condition with the factory tubes in it.
Okay.
I've got the service procedures on it. This is the one I want you to change the caps out and leave the tubes in it, and just whatever the gain I can get out of it, that's good enough, All I want to do is change the filter caps out.
Right.
There's all kind of different models of them suckers.
Yeah.
I seen one of them Yazoo you was talking about. You want the double E, right?
Oh, it doesn't matter. E, double E, B, double E is the they made it's
double E is the last of the series.
Oh no.
Why they ain't as good?
They got more of them. we was going. Me and somebody was talking about that one day, and I think it was in the live stream, and
Yeah.
they got ones that I mean, I knew existed. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. You know, I thought they had like 5 or 6. You know, they had
They got.
the no name. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The Mark None. Like the Mark II, Mark III, Mark
Yeah.
IV, Mark 4A. Then they had the Mark None, which like you got. You know, there was no, you know, just brown and golden eagle, and then there was before the Eagles. Okay, before the Eagles series came out. But anyway, me and somebody we was talking about them. I thought they had 4 or 5. You know, like the no letter. You know, just the 101. And
Oh yeah. That's
FT
the
the FT
very first
101.
series.
Yeah, well, FT 101. Then they had the FT 101B.
You right?
Then they had
D.
the E.
No,
Then
D.
okay, then E, then double E, and then
Mhm.
they had some. They had the XYZ Gen X in there. They got all kind of 101s. I didn't even know that existed. You know,
Well,
but
those are for other countries, continents.
no, actually that they was out, but they just well, you know, you could be right on that partially. You know, on some of them, you right on
No,
that.
I'm just saying the model
Designated
number
for
is
other,
designated.
yeah, the letters, yeah, but
Yeah.
most all of them were in the States also. You dipping and drinking.
The only bad thing about them
I'm
suckers,
drinking. I'm drinking and I'm dipping.
the
That's how
only
we do
bad
it.
thing
And
about them suckers, they run them 89-50 finals, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
You can't get a tube for it. That's the bad thing. That's why they're all over the internet for sale.
yuck. Hey,
Let me see something.
I got
here.
a lot of experience.
189.50 in a sealed box is $200.
Wow.
And it ain't a high power. I mean, it's pretty decent. It's 75-watt too, but it ain't.
I didn't know the tubes were that much on them.
Yes, sir. That's why I
Okay,
say.
here we go. Got the FT series coming up here. Let me see. They had, okay, this was a long time ago. 71 had 12B Y7A 6JS6C tubes. Okay, let's see. Models. Okay, right here. All right, they had the FT101, FT101B. Then they had the FT101BS.
That stands for
FT101C or D were never produced. 101E, 101EE, 101EX, 101ES as in Sam, 101F. Yeah, that was a good one. 160 meters to 10 meters, which most of them were that. Then they got 101FE, 101FX, 101Z, 101ZD. So, yeah.
How do you get it onto 11 meters when it's blocked like that on those?
You convert it with, you add the crystals. What was that, Russ?
I said, y'all talking Greek to me. I ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
That's just mile numbers of old
Radio?
ham radio. Like, you know that Yazoo you got?
Yeah.
This is just a big brother to it, or the daddy
I
of
got
it.
The ancestor.
Yeah.
Yazoo
You got that
FT101.
bigger antenna too. That helps.
Yeah, a Yazoo FT101 was the really the radio put Yazoo on the map around the world.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I can
They
agree
were
with that
known
statement.
overseas, but they wasn't a big name over here till that model come over come over to the States, and then they blew up.
Yeah, I tell you what, too, though, those were 70s radios. They came out in 70s, 71.
Mm-hmm.
The CB craze helped that radio out, too, because everybody wanted more power. And guess what? It had power.
100-watt final.
100 watts, yeah. Do they still teach analog technology in the Air Force Tech School? I want to say yeah, because there's still a lot of analog out there. There's a lot of digital out there also, but they still got a lot of analog spec in those
You
jets.
you,
There's
you got to
analog.
know analog because a post EMP blast. That's the only electronics you're going to see for a long,
I was going
long
to say,
time.
if the military was smart, they would have both. Have one as a backup. Most
Well, they do.
anything military, including a U.S. ship, they always have Plan B, Plan C. They got backups. It
Oh
ain't. They
yeah,
don't depend on one thing.
they got.
EMP. I trained for that when I was in the military. A friggin' EMP on this new shit will
Yeah.
smoke these traces on these boards and erase these ICs like nothing.
Yep. I heard. Now, let me ask you this. I was kind of digging in all that a couple of years ago, and that I was looking at these. What are them pages you get to protect your cell
Faraday
phone?
cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Faraday cage. Anyway, if something is not plugged to a wall or powered on, will it still fry it?
No.
No, no.
Okay.
It has to have juice running through it,
All right.
like a truck with points, a car with points. Okay,
Yeah, that keep
you're
running.
good to go with that. You're good to go with
Right.
that.
You might have to replace the coil.
Right.
You might have
So
to, yeah,
if
that or
you
it
had
might weld the points. But if anybody has an older truck, I would just recommend taking the battery out. Like a backup pickup truck, just
Yeah.
take the battery out. Put it in your
well, let me
house.
ask you this: if you took a modern car and took the battery out and everything went to sleep, would it affect that or no?
No.
No, it's not.
If
The
if
EMP is
it's
not going to
close,
mess with anything. That's
if
not.
it's close, if it's close, you're in the
Oh yeah,
range. An EMP will smoke an IC board. These little light trace boards, computers.
Right.
They just can't handle that because the board is part of the ground, and that's what takes it out.
Sure. Okay. That makes sense.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herman agrees with us. No, it's not a complete circuit.
Doesn't have to be. Not with an induced EMP on it.
See, like this laptop I'm on, when I'm done, I got a big computer here that stays plugged into the wall. And when I'm
Yeah.
done, I close the lid on this, but it's still, if I open the lid, it's still powered, like through the battery that's in it. I guess it would fry it
Right.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Your laptops.
Yeah.
Anything that's juiced, that has
Yeah.
power to it, it's gonna EMP is gonna take it out. Like Hermit says, his aircraft had a EMP protected cabinet, which was a Faraday cage.
Cage,
Faraday
and
cabinet
it had
with extra boards in
gold
it.
shielding around it. The Navy EA-6 Prowlers that did the electronic warfare that I was on the ship with, like the plexiglass, the Lexan part, the
Yeah.
windshield and the front, it had like a gold mesh. It looked like gold tint, like if you had gold tint, but it was solid 24 karat fine wire run all the way through that shit like a net, like a
Wow.
screen door.
Huh.
You know what's a good Faraday cage? Partially is the front of it is that shielding, like them screens in the doors of microwaves.
Yeah.
Those screens right there, man, that's perfect stuff right there for shielding stuff. You can make you a cabinet,
yeah.
Out of that, fasten it together some kind of way, and man, you got a good Faraday cage, because it doesn't let the microwaves in and out.
Yeah.
If I've got my chassis on those radios to outside ground, those type point-to-point radios should survive an EMP blast. It
If it's
might
not
blow some diodes, but
if it's
other
not
than that,
plugged in,
it'll
yeah.
survive.
If it's not plugged in, it will.
Yeah, it will. And you got to have it ground to outside, a grounding rod.
I guess the biggest problem is you never know. Like if somebody's explode a nuke up in the atmosphere over us without us knowing it, and not have time to take those preparations, it'd be a lot of stuff just instantly ruined, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's
that's
the EMP blast is the first one that goes off, and it goes off in that up above
in
you.
the nuclear chain reaction. The EMP is the first one that goes out.
I
Yeah,
got you. Yeah.
yeah. When they throwing missiles at you, EMPs are first. That takes your electric out, your electronics out, communications, type of stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then your ground effects come in after that. The ones that hit the ground and mushroom the cloud, and if you
Yeah.
can do this with your thumb and not if your thumb covers up the cloud, the stem of the mushroom, you head for the hills. If it's bigger than your thumb, well, just go ahead and wait about 5 seconds. It'll get to you.
You ain't outrunning it.
Yeah.
All right. But technology has in fact, what's this? It's that little thing, 630 volts. Those little Illinois caps, 630 volts. 10,000 picofarads. That's a 0.01. That's a point 0.01 microfarads. And then these are the same volts here. You can use these bypass capacitors, coupling caps, bypass caps.
That's
So
that blown.
a picofarad would be hundredths of a microfarad. Then is that correct? You said
Thousand.
0.01.
A pico is 100,000, isn't it?
Pico is nano. Pico's smaller than nano.
You're right.
Pico is millions
Millions, yeah.
or billions.
But you said
I used to know all that stuff
microfarad?
before I had I used to know that back when I had my shop and all that, but I had a stroke since then.
Yeah.
A couple of them, actually.
I done forgot all that shit. That's this right here, Cajun. Let's see here.
Oh, let me hold on. Let me get that in the.
I,
There we
I'm
go.
gonna show you.
Oh, that's your power supply. Yeah.
Yeah, the voltage regulator. There's the diode right there.
That's the 4005 or
Yeah,
404.
yeah. I got a whole damn, I don't know, million of them here.
Oh yeah. Zhang On. You got that from eBay?
Yeah, Dong Wan.
Don Juan.
Yeah, something Dong Wan. If I don't like it too good, I'll put two of them together.
What's that?
Put two of those diodes in parallel if it blows one.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Wouldn't do that.
No.
Throw that shit in the trash and get another one diode.
No, it's no. They probably they good. Who's gonna counterfeit a diode?
Well, it ain't gonna do no damage. It'll just blow. It's a fuse.
Yeah, a reverse fuse.
That's all it is.
Correct.
Well, if it works, it works, right? I mean, all
Right.
it does is
Yeah. Oh yeah.
flow one way
I'm
and
worrying
the other
about the
way.
duty cycle on it when I put a load on that sucker.
Well, they
Yeah.
1 amp. Those are 1 amp diodes.
Oh, that's right. That's a current limit diode.
Well, what it is, if some juice wants to go the other way and harm something else,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
diode's not going to let it
No,
happen. It's a
but this
one-way
is wired
fuse.
for the excessive amperage, overuse amperage, where you're exceeding power supplies duties.
That diode, if I'm not mistaken, that diode's protecting that chip.
Right. And I think my chip will come back on. I'll get the 2 or 3 pins I was missing voltage on.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not up on all the electronics, but I know a little bit about that stuff. Like on automotive relays, they usually either put a diode or they put a suppression resistor to absorb that spike when a relay closes. When you turn it off, you got that spike, and that diode or that suppression resistor is
Uh,
supposed to stop that from frying like your PCM or whatever. It eliminate that spike from when that coil builds up energy when it's energized, and when you turn the AC off, let's say relay stops, that spike's got to go somewhere. So they use either a suppression resistor or a diode to prevent that from damaging the circuit. That's what it's for. That I do know. But as far as radios and all that, I've never dealt with any of that stuff. But
Static
modern cars,
electricity.
they've got quite a bit of stuff like that in them now.
I do know that static electricity uh, hurts in Arizona. When I first moved to Arizona, my work brought me over there. And Tucson, man, that's desert area. And the company truck that I had, when I'd get out of there, well, one time they had the building that my company was doing. I was a superintendent, and I pulled up at my trailer, and there were people waiting. The people that was gonna have their suites, the doctors and nurses and all that. They wanted to see, halfway. The walls weren't even finished in their suite yet. They just wanted to see, how big of an area they had and all that. So anyway, I pulled up to the office trailer and I get out of my truck and I went to close the door. Oh man, I forgot about it. And it hit me and I lost my religion. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. But I says, I ain't from here and I've never got hit with static electricity like I have here. So it makes me lose my religion. And they was all laughing, like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it won't be the last time neither. Getting hit. Man, that shit hurts.
If you look,
It hurts, man. You
Yeah.
can hear it. They said we heard that. Pop.
Yeah.
We heard that jump from
Oh
you
yeah,
to
you
that
can hear
truck
it.
or from the truck to you.
I've
I had
done that,
cloth seats in it. That's why.
I've done that down south in real cold weather, man. I guess rubbing your feet, build up that static, and go to open a car door, and like, oh,
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, we tried to do it and it wouldn't work. Gets a lot of humidity. You got to do
yeah.
it. It's got.
I'll say
It
that
doesn't really
being a
have to
winter
be
on
dry, but
certain times, that static, man, it'd get all over your hair and everything else. Hair be standing up.
yeah.
Run
That
a
one there
comb.
made my hair stand up when it hit me.
I hear you.
Man, that stuff is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost my religion and I thought I was gonna get a little note in my in our box that we get
yeah.
every Friday. We get a box and they would have safety gift cards in there and stuff like that for workers, and like your day laborers, here's a $10 or $20 card, safety gift, and
Yeah.
and then their checks,
We had to ground ourselves, right? When we were going into like the control boards on equipment and shit because of the static electricity.
Yeah.
You
Oh
could
yeah.
you could pop a chip, man, just from the static off your finger.
Well, I know when you order something electronic piece, a lot of times, like a little circuit board, it'll come in a static proof plastic.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
You
all of this right here is static proof.
Is
All
it
these,
the
yeah.
But
stuff I
man,
usually get is kind
DigiKey, man,
of
that's all anti-static bags right there.
see,
They probably a
back in
nickel a
the
bag.
'70s when they started making solid state like CVs and shit, and they, use a microprocessor in it, they wasn't very stable or very resilient against static electricity or voltage pops and stuff like that. So you was constantly blowing them some bitches out.
yeah.
Yeah, and Hermit, he's got a point. You got to wear a grounded bracelet that's
Right.
got a wire going to it with a crocodile clip, and you got to ground yourself. Now, down here, like when I
No,
work on electronics, at my bench, I ain't got to worry about
we got too
static
much
electricity.
humidity for
You got
static
too much
electricity.
humidity. Now, in the winter,
Maybe.
even in the winter, dude, we still at 60% humidity. So
Most of the time, yeah.
the plastic runners on aircraft and the cold, dry, forced air on the ground promoted static. Oh yeah, a helicopter and all that. Yeah,
Oh yeah, man, I've seen
yeah.
that. Nighttime out in the Persian Gulf, they'd have that powdered sand talc. It,
Oh well,
it,
that's
it,
silica. Yeah,
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 and it would, when the helicopter would come in, the static come off that rotor head, and it would light that shit up, man. It looked like lightning going in circles
yeah.
around it.
I'll tell you what. Perfect example of that is the perfect storm. When the helicopter was trying to get them people off of that sailboat,
Yeah,
and they had the mast and all that, and they were getting shocked. Static electricity,
it
and it was
will
like
kill
lightning.
you. It will kill you if you don't put a grounding rod, a fiberglass pole to like put unhook from the helicopter or put something on the helicopter because
Yeah,
you're standing on a ship that is not grounded. It's positive ground because you're in the ocean, right? It's backwards, and you got no ground on the ship, so
and
you
that
can get
energy
electrocuted
ground.
with a
Yeah,
damn grinder if the conditions are right. Uh, but yeah,
That is a fact
helicopter.
right there. That's a fact. We had an electrician woman out there at Ingalls, and this ship was in the water, you
Right.
know, finishing up or whatever. And this woman brought her
I'm
own
gonna get some.
electric tool in. It wasn't double insulated,
Nope.
and I don't remember exactly what she did or everything or anything, but she ended up getting electrocuted right there on the ship,
Killed her.
Damn.
killed her dead, man. And that's when Ingalls really said, look, nobody can bring in power tools like that.
She
You got
brought
to.
her own personal
She
grinder
brought
in.
her own. Most of the stuff they use out there is pneumatic, it's air driven.
Yeah.
They do have some electric stuff, but it's all double insulated and it's approved to use out there. And she just brought like a Black and Decker
You
nine
take
ninety
a
nine drill motor, and it killed her. It
yeah.
sure did.
It will because you got to have a specially I forgot what they called it to keep you from getting shocked because if you didn't have gloves on and you were barehanded holding it,
Yeah,
the metal case would energize and that's how you get shot through the
right.
coming through it. It's
Yep.
like if you could get outside a ship and have a giant voltmeter and put the ground on the water and put the positive on the ship, you'd see one hell of a bit of voltage on that ship
Oh yeah, yeah. I would
because the
imagine.
hull is taking the ground from all the equipment up there. So it's positively charged compared
Yeah,
to ground. It like you said, it's fucking dangerous. It will kill
it
you.
is. And you're in salt water too, which is highly
Yeah.
conductive. You know.
Well, you're a giant inductor, is what you are, an
Yeah,
armature, and you're
that's
just
right.
going down the water, and that hull generates voltage. And
Yeah,
like I said, the conditions can be right.
Yeah,
It don't
it'll
take
induce
much to
the
kill you on a
voltage.
ship.
It's like a generator. I mean, it's jumping a gap to induce voltage to
Right.
send it out. It's the same principle, really. Yep.
But when you ain't got a ground and your ship's your ground and you
Yeah.
got electronic, because your power generations is all grounded to the hull. Everything's grounded to the hull.
Right. Which is sitting in salt water, and it's not
Right.
on Earth. It's not on Earth.
Well,
Like
it's insulated. It's a floating ground.
right. Exactly. Yep.
So you can become a ground real easy by just holding something
Yep.
that's
Uh,
energized.
Hermit? No, Ingalls is a shipyard. Well, but it was
It,
years ago. Ingalls.
Ingalls is in
Northrop Grumman now.
No, Northrop Grumman. What actually happened? I retired from there. I worked there for many, many years, right there in Pascagoula,
Gula.
Mississippi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and
didn't
it,
Ingalls
it's
change the
spelled
name?
it's spelled INGASSS Ingalls. But anyway, Northrop Grumman, they're mainly into like like airplanes and all that kind of stuff, a lot of electronics and things. Well, they bought the shipyard from Litton Industries, and it was called Northrop Grumman for a while. But what they
Yeah.
did, they formed a separate entity to separate the companies, and now it's called Huntington Ingalls. Huntington is the one in Virginia. I've worked there too. Got sent there through Ingalls, and that's Newport News. And the one down here in Pascagoula is called Ingalls Shipbuilding. But together they're combined under one company called Huntington Ingalls. So there's that. And technically, Northrop Grumman does still own them, but it's just not. It's a separate company now. Just so
What's
you know.
what's the new name now? Ingalls what?
Huntington Ingalls, HI.
Huntington Ingalls. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Huntington
So it's
Ingalls
not
Under
just.
Northrop
Industries.
I
Grumman.
remember when they changed over when Ingalls got when the name changed or Northrop.
Right. It's
That was in the early 2000s.
technically it's Huntington Ingalls Industries, HII, and
Okay.
that falls for Pascagoula and Newport News. They're one big company, two separate shipyards, but we still call it Ingalls Shipbuilding. That's what it is, really. And up
Right.
there in Newport News, they still call it Newport News Shipbuilding.
And
Even though
David worked for that. I think David said he lived down by Mobile over there somewhere by the
oh really?
shipyards. Yeah, in Mobile, and they got a few shipyards over there in that area.
Is
Well,
Avondale still going?
Lytton did way more than just that shipyard here. I mean, if you remember, they built microwave ovens. They were in all kind of things, kind of
Yeah,
like Northrop
Lytton.
Grumman,
Yeah.
you know.
And where was that at? Right here. Okay, he was stationed at Keesler Air Force Base. Invest in NGR.
Okay, well,
What's
you stationed here.
NGR?
Northrop Grumman.
I live in Biloxi now, so that's where Keesler is at, right here, close to me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Ocean Springs. David was there in 78 and 79.
Ocean Springs. They must have had something going on there that was related to the shipyard. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah,
Being that close to
yeah.
Pascagoula, the actual shipyard is in Pascagoula, still is. When that shipyard first started, man, it wasn't nothing. Bob Ingalls is the one that started that shipyard, and it was part of Chicago Bridge and Iron. And they found property down there in Pascagoula, and then eventually it became Ingalls Shipbuilding after his last name. Then later it got sold to Lytton Industries, and that's when it became a major naval shipyard. But prior to that, when he first started, they were building tugboats and luxury liners and just whatever commercial ships. But it's full-fledged Navy now. That's all they build. Yeah, I spent many years out there at the shipyard.
Yeah,
I
David
left,
used to live in
uh,
Ocean Springs back then. Now he's up there in Steel City, Alabama.
oh, he worked in Pasco, so he worked at Lytton, the shipyard, and then he lived in
Lived
Ocean.
in Ocean Springs. Okay.
Oh wow, I'm right next door to Ocean Springs. I'm actually in St. Martin, Ocean Springs. If I get in my car and drive about 2, maybe 3 minutes then this road, Lemoyne, I'm technically in Ocean Springs, part of it.
Yeah, he's up in Birmingham now.
Okay. Yeah, it hadn't been Lytton for many, many years. I remember that I was out there when they sold out and transitioned into Lit. Northrop Grumman, and then that lasted it lasted to after Katrina, and then with all the devastation, it just man, it cost somebody a lot of money, mainly the insurance companies, I suppose. But at any rate, after that is when they separated two different entities. Northrop
Oh,
Grumman,
okay.
HII. But it's still the
Okay.
same company, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Not legally, but technically. Yep.
I used to watch this years ago. I used to watch the jets take off of
Keesler.
at the Air Force base there, and man, that's a sight to see when the jets are flying over you, and then they come around, then they'll land, they'll make that pass, and then
Yeah.
but wherever you're at and they fly over you, it's pretty damn thrilling when you've never seen a jet in your life before.
Well, I'll tell you what used to happen at the shipyard lot when you was on the wet dock. I'm sorry, when you was in the water. You're off the land. They done
Mhm.
launch. You're over here. They're actually doing the finishing of the ship. Actually getting it ready for sea trials. And while they're testing all these electronics on the ship, Keesler will fly jets in to test certain equipment. But they'll come, I mean, real low. I can be down in the belly of that ship and you can hear them jets buzzing that ship. And they're testing, they're going through testing phases. It's like,
Mhm.
whoa, boy, that's
What?
close. We're down there working and we hear these jets up above us. And, yeah, man, that happens on every ship. They have to go through that. I
Y'all
don't
should
know
have
what
lived
the
on an
testing is.
aircraft carrier.
Huh?
I said y'all should have lived on an aircraft carrier like I did.
I've never
Y'all,
lived on one, but I worked on one when I was out there at Newport News. I worked on the Theodore Roosevelt. It was in for its 25-year overhaul, and that's what I worked
that
on
was a
there.
nuke too, wasn't it?
Huh?
It's a nuclear
Nuclear.
powered.
Oh yeah, nuclear powered. Yeah, which really means it's able to create steam for 25 years before it has to be recharged. You
Right.
know,
That's what
yeah,
that's
that's
what was happening.
basically
In
all the
25 years, they got to pull out the fuel rods,
right,
but they
exactly.
don't do it like a land based reactor. They got to take the whole friggin' reactor unit out,
Yeah, yeah. It came in
cut
for
the
that.
ship open.
It come in for that, but while it's in there, they do all kind of stuff. I worked in pipe department. I was pipe welder, and they go in there and replace all kind of valves and piping and just all kinds of things that is
You're
done during that.
constantly working on a ship, a Navy
Oh
ship.
yeah, yeah. It
It's
never ends.
nonstop.
Yep, that's the thing.
Everybody's assigned to preventative maintenance of one type or another, depending on what type of equipment's in your workspace and all that blah blah blah.
Yeah,
So you work on a lot of shit when you're in the Navy. It just ain't one job like in the Air Force.
right. I don't
Yeah,
know,
still,
man. Them
guys.
he said boats are too confined. An aircraft carrier, those are like a floating city. They are huge.
You can get
I
lost
mean,
real easy on one.
Who that?
yeah, they're huge. Now, if you get to talking about like a DDG or a frigate or something like that, yeah, they can get very confined.
I was on a small ship. I was on a LST, my first one.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, what y'all hearing on the news right now? The division of the Navy amphibious assault groups. That's what
Yeah.
I was in.
Okay.
What's up, Jeep and John? I didn't see you there, man.
I've worked on the
Sorry about that.
LPDs, which are not small, and I've worked
Oh,
on the
there.
LHAs, and I've worked on the LPDs. I've worked on
Yeah,
all those ships, but
that's
yeah,
Gator freighters.
and the Aegis class destroyers. I worked on the very first one that Ingalls ever built. It was hull 5252, and Bath Ironworks had contracts to build them too. And I think they built the very first one.
I
I
can't remember
think
the name of it, but I served with it on our. It served with us. Uh, damn.
what 52
Yeah, what was the name of it?
USS Barry.
Barry. No, there was another one. I can't remember the name of
Okay,
it.
yeah,
The
they've made
Barry
a
might have been
ton.
over West Coast. This was over in the Med.
Yeah, they've made a bunch of them since then. And I worked on the USS Cole when it was first built at Ingalls Shipbuilding, and then I was working there when they brought it back on that submersible ship,
Yeah,
piggyback. And man, everybody stopped what they were doing and was watching it come in.
that's
And
a hell of a hole, wasn't it?
oh man, they dry docked it and got it onto the land over the next week or so. And me and a buddy of mine said, let's go down there and look at it. You know, we snuck away. We walked right up under that keel where that massive hole was, 40-foot hole, and
Yeah,
that rip went all the way to the keel. And it's like,
yeah.
oh crap!
They had
I
to
never had to
total that
look.
ship, didn't they?
No, they rebuilt it. They repaired everything, and we were all out there the day it sailed away. Man, that was a day to be proud. They had
How did they repair the keel? It was bent, wasn't it?
man, it was all messed up. The engine room, the ceiling of the engine room, the blast hit the engine room. Those Rolls Royce engines, and it
Yeah.
deflected the blast straight up.
Oh,
And above it is the galley, and
yeah,
it pushed that deck into the galley and just sandwiched everybody in there. And it was lunchtime when that happened
yeah.
over
There
there
was
Oh,
in
several
man.
of them that was standing on the that were in Florsham shoes, and they melted on their feet from the intense heat.
Oh yeah.
Uh, the officers did. They outlawed them after that.
Oh, I bet. Well, you know, not long after that, they come in there and all the ships after that started getting this extra armor from the water line down. And they did that for so many ships, and then they quit doing it again, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, that blast, man, if it wouldn't have been from those two Rolls Royce engines sitting in that engine room number one,
it'd have
and
split that.
deflecting that, it would have probably cut that ship in half with the force that it had.
It if
It
they
would have
wouldn't have
never
got
made it
hit the
home.
engine room, but if they'd have got close to the magazine, that would have
Oh
been
yeah.
it.
Well, that was way up forward. I've worked in the mags too, man. I've worked every area you can think of on a
Mags
DDG.
are always in the center line of the ship, furthest away from the engine room.
Right.
Uh,
These were way up forward. The
yeah,
ones that we put
they'll
on.
sacrifice the people in berthing, the berthing spaces above it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because there was berthing, forward berthing. They had berthing throughout the ship, including aft
Yeah,
in. But it had two VLS forward and rear that shoots the Tomahawk missiles out of it. And I've
right.
worked all that stuff, you know, over the years. But yeah, it's something, man. The way all that comes together and what they can do. And I heard, I don't know if it's a rumor. I went to Fox News after I heard this. There was a video. And it said that one of our destroyers got hit by Iran today.
That's false. I don't know
Really?
if it's true or
Yeah, I
not.
think it's false too because I went to all the news outlets I could find and nobody was talking about that. So that's fake news. You
What
know,
got
Well,
hit or
I can
supposedly
tell
got
you,
hit?
huh?
What's
Iran's been saying they've shot down airplanes. They've shot what was it? One of our aircraft carriers. They sunk it, and
Oh yeah, that's
they
bull
just
crap.
putting stupid shit out there. Look, if it ain't painfully obvious that we're the best fucking military in the world, we destroyed everybody's equipment.
Yep.
Russia, China, their best missile defense, best surface to air equipment, radar. We 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 just walked right through it like hot butter. And China and Russia is flipping the fuck out because they know the only thing they can bluff us with now is a nuke.
Right, right. And they're not
Yeah.
going to do that because if they're in the air heading our
Our
way,
nukes work
they're
better
going to
than
get it
theirs.
right back on them, you know. And
Well, I
it,
think we have a counter defense for ICBM missiles, and I think that's why them satellites keep going up all the time. I think they got weapons aloft.
oh yeah, like a Star Wars program
Yeah,
Reagan talked about
Reagan
years ago.
Reagan was the first one to do the Star Wars stuff, but
Well, hey, he talked about it. I mean,
yeah, I mean it never
Oh,
came to fruition
no, but
it
what I'm
it
saying
probably
is
exists.
what's going on behind the
that
scenes
we know of.
that we know of.
Right.
I suspect we've got a countermeasure for ICBMs of some type.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
I
Oh
base
yeah, we
that
got
off a
something
couple of
down.
things. We've done shot down some of their shit, their helicopters and their drones and a couple of jets
Yep.
with surface laser from a ship
That's
to
badass.
there.
That's
Okay,
badass.
Russ,
That
what did
technology.
you hear today, Russ? What did you hear today on the? And then
Oh,
you
it was
try to check it.
I was going through the thumbnails and it says U.S. Navy destroyer hit by Iran missile. So I clicked on it and the guy
Oh,
was
okay.
foreign. It was from overseas somewhere. And
Oh, okay.
I went,
Propaganda.
what? So I
Well,
went to
Hermit said
I went
the
to Fox
Ford was
News.
hit, and caught fire, and it's a
No, no,
secondary
it
dock.
wasn't
No.
hit. The Ford is a new ship and it's got a bunch of design errors in it and they rushed it to fleet. And what went down was the laundry room had electrical fire, burnt electrical units out. Then it affected the plumbing, the suction in the plumbing and stuff through the ship.
Yeah.
So they had in certain areas backed up toilets, and it screwed it up.
It's a
Which
But
shitty
Ford?
situation.
The Gerald Ford?
yeah, the Gerald Ford. Y'all can
That
Google it. I ain't bullshitting you.
that ship was under construction. It's an aircraft carrier, a new class. And they have
That's a bad luck one.
instead of having a steam catapult that launch the ships, the ones on that ship, very first one,
Hydraulic.
they use electromagnets
And it
to
and it
send
Oh,
the
failed.
ship.
magnet. Yeah, yeah.
And it failed. They had to go back to steam
Right,
cats.
boy, they struggled with that. They
That
struggled a
ship's
long time.
cursed, man. That ship's got a curse on it. It's slip
Yep,
rock is what we call them in the Navy. That's a slip rock ship.
right,
People don't believe, and we're highly superstitious in the Navy, especially around ships. And when they come out for sea trials and they just keep screwing up and having to go back and redesign, repair, find another problem with it,
right.
No, not
those
well,
ships are that
the
ship will never be right. It'll always have problems somewhere.
Have issues. It's kind of like these new cars and trucks they're
Yeah,
coming out with. They're just failing left and right, you know. But I walk by that ship every day. It was in those airlocks up. You know, it was
it
eventually be a
was
wet dock when they flood it and float it off. But it was
right.
constructed right there. I walk by it every day on my way to the Theodore Roosevelt, the overhaul. But we seen it in its early beginnings, and I was left and back at this shipyard way before it was completed. You know.
My carrier was CV-60, so that one goes back a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's razor blades now.
Oh yeah.
what's up, Radio Mike? What's up there, Mona Meat? Road Runner. What's up, Road Runner?
Yeah, I kept up with some of them people when I left, and one was a woman that was in QA out there. Actually, she did a lot of the liquid dye penetrant testing and stuff on my welds. And anyway, she kept up with me after that, and she was telling me all the problems they were having with that electromagnet catapult. You know, and I guess they finally got it to where it would work. But like you said, man, stuff
It
like
didn't
that
work
happening.
reliably.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you're
Oh,
trying to run an
that's not good.
electromagnetic machine in a goddamn ship floating in the water.
Yeah, yeah,
Think about it. You got a lot of shit that can affect it.
yeah. Well, my old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What's wrong with steam? You know, that's what
I
the
don't know.
nuclear reactors for is to boil that water, create steam, and run the whole ship off of it, including the catapults. All that's run off that nuclear power, you know.
I lived 18 months on the Sarah. My rack was in the forward bow under the number one cat directly underneath it.
Wow.
So 18-hour flight ops. That's the normal flight operations on a ship.
Yeah.
They'll fly on and off for 18 hours.
Dang.
Then they shut down for 4 hours. Then they fire back up and another 18. And you do that for 8 or 7. Sometimes you get a 6-month cruise. We got stuck out there for almost 8 months.
Good Lord.
I can sleep through anything, dude. Nothing fazed
Oh
me.
yeah.
I bet,
I can
man.
get on a helicopter to go offshore on a rig. I'll go sound asleep, man, before the helicopter ever it gets off the ground.
Sound
Everybody else is
asleep.
white knuckled on it.
Yeah.
I remember when the Ticonderoga left out of Ingalls and then the sea trials and all that. I remember that.
That
That
was
was
a
in what?
CG.
04,
CG.
05,
Yeah, that's been a
2004.
2004,
few
something
years
like that.
back.
And
No,
the coal,
it's
by the
been
same time when the I
no, that'd
remember
be
the
about
coal
right.
got repaired in Pascagoula, USS Cole.
No, the
When it,
Ticonderoga was a CG, and I never worked on it, but I remember when it was being built. That was actually back in the '80s when that ship was built
yeah,
by
but
England.
it was in Ingalls for some reason.
Oh, it might have been an
In
overhaul.
04, 05 or something. I remember
Yeah.
they brought it out to sea trials.
Ticonderoga is
When they came in, all them sailors, man, that they had that sports bar there on
yeah.
well, me and you already talked about it, Russ. You know what I'm talking about. That sports bar there on the corner. Man, that was a decent sized little bar, club. And when all them sailors got in there, man, it was like being on the ship all over again. They said, "Man, we just got
Yeah.
off the ship and we back in a sardine can again."
Yep. That and you're standing in line forever. But Ticonderoga is a guided missile cruiser, I believe.
Yeah, uh, it's a destroyer. Uh,
No,
no
cruiser.
cruiser. Okay,
The
I remember it being
Ticonderoga,
in
I think, is
Pascagoula.
a guided missile cruiser. And a
Okay,
Yeah, that's
cruiser
right. Got a
from
Mr. Cruiser.
a
yeah,
destroyer. A destroyer and a frigate are single mast ships, single stack. Cruisers are double mast with double stack.
Yeah, I've worked on one CG, and that particular class of ship built at Ingalls had aluminum superstructure.
Right.
And after those ships were completed, they got rid of the aluminum superstructures. I guess they figured out that crap can melt a lot quicker than steel.
No, no, no. What
yeah.
happens is stress on that aluminum. It's brittle,
Yeah,
so it cracks real easy.
right.
Well, you got different grades of aluminum too. Saltwater, that's a totally different animal than freshwater aluminum, like up in Tennessee
Still,
and Kentucky, there, Jeep and John. Anyway, that aluminum, when you get to the saltwater part of it,
yeah.
and then certain types of aluminum, you need the different wire, to weld with. Welding wire, you need to buy this kind of wire for this one, this kind for this grade aluminum, this grade.
And
Uh, Put it this way, a buddy of mine found out the hard way about that. He bought a whole damn 2 cases of wire. We was fixing to start working on a tri hull that the Corps of Engineers had. And we was gonna make a shrimp or big butterfly boat out of it. And well, guess what? That didn't work out too well. We was trying to weld that saltwater grade aluminum with that lower. I mean that whatever in inland. It was a different type of wire. We was wondering why we knew how to weld aluminum. We wasn't successful at it on that part. So this guy
Looked
came
like
over
dirt dauber
and
shit
told
on
us
it,
all
didn't
about
it?
it's
that.
like you
That's what it
said.
was looking like. I said, something's wrong, man. It's got to be the metal that we're working with. So he
It's
called
the
the guy.
hardness. The hardness of the aluminum has to match the filler rod.
Right. I am a pipe welder, and I can tell you now, a 70 series aluminum can't
Yeah.
be welded; it'll crack every time.
Yeah, once
And
you
like,
get it hot, it loses all
right,
flexibility. It becomes too rigid.
right, a 60 61. That's a pretty good aluminum that can be welded. It can be machined. It can be any of that. But a 70 series type aluminum, you're not going to weld it. That's strictly for rivets, bolts, nuts, things like that. It's strong, but if you try to weld it, it'll crack every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Guaranteed.
boat was the aluminum was welded because that's how they put it
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
But
but you
it
got to have
was meant for,
the
but we were
correct
using the
filler.
wrong wire. We
Right.
were using the wrong wire, and
Yeah,
he had two boxes of that wire. Them spools, he had two boxes of that.
I bet it
yeah.
didn't penetrate at all. I bet it's piled up.
No, he had the boat glassed over. He had a guy come and had it fiberglassed over, roll on, not a chopper gun, a roll on.
Yeah.
You can't have two different metals. Yeah, you can. It's just sometimes they don't agree. Like on aluminum boat, you want stainless steel rigging, and
Oh yeah.
there's
We
Mr.
use
Jeb.
You run
we
a
run
boat. A boat. If you got two dissimilar metals, you got a cathodic reaction.
Yeah, well, you have the bolt together. Like all your rigging, you got your aluminum pad eyes. You know what a pad eye is.
Yeah,
You know,
I
half
know.
a tombstone with a hole in it. Then you got your stainless steel rigging that all of that bolts. It's not hard. It's not tight. Bolt tight. Everything's loose. Because everything moves. You got a butterfly boat or a skimmer boat. Your nets go out to the side of the boat. Then you got all your cables
right.
to the bow, keeping that in
Let
place.
me tell you about a U.S. Navy ship. You got all kind of metals in the piping system. You got copper, nickel. You got Inconel for like the exhaust. You got all kind of grades of stainless steel. And anytime that pipe has to go through a watertight bulkhead, it is welded to a carbon steel penetration sleeve with a proper rod. Like in stainless, it would be a 309 rod. It would actually weld to that sleeve. The sleeve goes in the hole on the bulkhead. Then you weld the sleeve to the bulkhead with a carbon steel stick rod. So yeah, you can weld dissimilar metals all through a ship. It's done every day, but you can't necessarily weld like copper nickel to stainless. There's no procedure for that. But all those metals will weld to carbon steel. There's a rod for each one of them. That's how they get them through the bulkhead, and they seal the bulkhead off on both sides. Watertight compartments. In Virginia, they only weld one side of the penetration sleeve. But I'm telling you, I was there most of my life, 45 years of welding at a shipyard, so I know.
How do they do
200
it?
per night. They do 200 ATVs a day. Man, did how was your bonus, Hermit? Your
As
bonuses.
long
Did
as
they
there,
give you a ATV? That'd have been
as long
nice.
as
200 a
there's a
night.
procedure for it, it can be welded. A U.S.
200
Navy.
units a night. 200 a day. That's at a factory. How you doing there, Mr. Field Guy and Mr. Jeb?
Not doing too bad here.
I,
Got the cataract surgery done on my right eye today.
Okay. Which microphone you on?
Let me switch them.
Yeah.
He was sounding muddy.
I'm
It's
gonna
a good
talk
mic
low. Just
for
let
when
me
he
talk.
does videos, but when he's live, for some reason it sounds different.
Yeah, is that better there?
Speaking,
Yeah,
speaking of
clearer.
speaking of dissimilar metals, do y'all know how they attach that aluminum superstructure on a CG to a steel boat, which was the outer parts is HY80, but it's still a carbon based steel. Do y'all know how they were able to attach that house to that steel hull? Any of y'all?
Boat, a lot of
I'm
boats.
gonna say no.
Nope. Have you ever heard of
Adhesive?
explosion? You ever heard of explosion welding?
Yeah.
Okay, what they do is they have to order this stuff, and it comes in strips, probably 6 inches wide, And somewhere else up in the mountains, they got a process called explosion welding where they can actually lay carbon steel, or in this case HY80, and they put aluminum right there, and they actually fuse together through. They have this powder that goes all over it, and it's lit, and it actually explodes, and it's such intense pressure, the molecules are forced to bond together. And when you take a piece of this, you can see the aluminum actually inside the carbon steel and the carbon inside the aluminum. They are actually fused together, even though they're dissimilar metals, because of the intense pressure they are fused. And they ship this into the shipyards, and the bottom part is steel, the top part is aluminum. So you're able to weld that whole strip around and set the house on it. And the top part was aluminum. You weld that to aluminum. Coolest thing I ever seen. How
Damn.
they did that. But look that up on internet or whatever. It's called explosion welding, and you'll see
Is
what I'm
that
talking about. But you can
with
take
thermite?
huh?
Thermite, isn't it? Thermite.
Something like that. I'm not real sure on the whole process, but it's called explosion welding, and they usually do it like out in the mountains, like in a cave or whatever, close to
Mhm.
one. I've seen it on videos and stuff, but Ingalls sourced that stuff out, and all that has to be laid down on the top deck, flight deck they call it, and then that house sits there, and then
Yeah,
they can
fusion,
put it
fusion,
all
yeah,
up, pack it
fusion,
all in, weld it
explosion.
all out.
Thermite's the heat source.
It's completely welded.
Jeep and John, they use anodes on there. Those are zinc, and they use those anodes. Uh, they throw them in the bilges, or they bolt it onto the back. Like my crew boat I was running, those are bolted onto the back of
And the whole.
the stern. Yeah, and what it does, it stops that electrolysis. It'll eat up that them anodes before it eats up other
Right.
stuff.
Like
Exactly
your
right.
brass parts on your shaft bearing housing and stuff like that. That that softer metal will pit away real quick, kind of like aluminum.
Yeah.
Now, if on every outboard motor has an anode on it,
Yeah.
right above the prop, underneath that thing that
Hmm.
turns, that's an anode.
Them
Well,
big
even on
commercial
You can
ships.
tell down here in the salt water where I was raised at, you got to change them every now and then.
yeah, you do.
They
They'll eat them
do,
out.
It
yeah.
I
saves you
even had
hull and your metal.
even when I had that sailboat, I had to replace that shaft that run through the. I had a little diesel engine on there, a little Yanmar diesel, and the shaft went through. It went through a stuffing tube and out. Okay, then it had the prop on it. Well, on that shaft, I had two anodes that cupped around that shaft, and they had set screws where you tighten them up, and that way it eats at that, so it don't eat away at the shaft itself. And that shaft was stainless steel, but it will still eat through it. Electrolysis,
Yeah,
like you said.
electrolysis, it'll eat some stuff up.
Oh yeah, it becomes like a battery, really. It's what's the
Yeah,
other word
that's why
they
they
have?
call them anodes.
It's called
Galvanic,
cathodic protection
galvanic.
Galvanic.
reaction.
You're right, right, and that's
But
basically
it's
what's happening.
called cathodic protection when you sacrifice a donor metal
Yeah,
to save
Right.
something.
cathode, in other words,
Yeah.
cathodic.
When
Well, that's
the
what a ship's hull is a cathode. What
yeah,
what I was trying to tell you was I don't know how they can get around the cathodic part. You got aluminum on very conductive metal.
yeah,
That high quality iron is very conductive. So you have a galvanic reaction and a cathodic between aluminum and steel. When it's even bonded, it still is
you
gonna.
sure do. Absolutely. And yeah, it makes you wonder, what were they thinking or whatever, but you do. And aluminum in itself is highly conductive because they use it for wiring, obviously, but
Yeah.
it is the metals are just known to have that galvanic reaction, like aluminum on steel, aluminum on
Yeah.
stainless steel, any of that. If it gets in the right situation, like out in salt water with waves crashing, everything else, it's setting itself up to be a battery. And it, you know, that's all you can say about it. Now,
Well,
maybe
that's
they
all
factored
right.
in the lifespan of it or whatever, but I do know they quit doing that across the board. No more aluminum superstructures. Must have had too much problem with it, you know, is my guess.
They use aluminum in mobile homes for wiring because they want it to cheap out. Aluminum is not a very good conductor.
No, it's not like copper, but they use them in plenty of houses too until the code finally abandoned it, you know, abolished it, you know. The power company still uses aluminum. Out here on your power lines, that's all aluminum. But when it comes into your house, it better be copper nowadays.
Well, all your coax now is almost 100% stainless strand with copper coating on it.
Yes, you're exactly right. Matter of fact, I ordered some wire not here long ago, and it's called copper clad. I said, I don't want copper clad. I want to roll a real copper wire. And I had to keep looking. I ordered it off Amazon just to have some wire on hand, little rolls of it. And finally, I found and ordered pure copper. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
aluminum with a copper coating. That's all it was.
yeah, that ain't worth the crap.
And
If you
way
want to do some low voltage stuff, you know, that doesn't get used a lot, yeah. But I'll buy when I buy like for my lead wire, I make my own
yeah,
leads and stuff up. That's silicone. You know, it's for making leads.
right. Well, I bought this just for
That's why I
automotive. When
buy
I
it.
run across something I need, like some corrosion problems or whatever, I'll be able to have some on hand just to splice it in, you know.
I think this is 16 or 14 right here. I made this up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I think I think 14 or 16, but that's silicone. Uh, you can't knot this stuff up.
Yeah, I've got some leads made out of that silicone. I love them.
I
They
like
don't get
these
a
right
they
angle
don't get a memory like a
safety.
lot of them do.
Uh, Safety plug. See that red cap in there? Just in case you got this on electricity, this in here, like an idiot, then go and touch this. You know, this will keep you from getting shocked, getting the shock of your life.
Ocean Power Technology. This company makes a buoy that generates electricity, taking advantage of all harvestable
Wave
sources,
and wind.
mostly
Yeah.
waves and wind.
Yep. Double eagle. Hermit. $20 double eagle.
Oh, that's what I forgot tonight. I was gonna dig out those Morgans, and I forgot them.
Oh, that ain't no big deal. We'll do a set up a coin thing with I think Russ has some coins too. That
My
he's
wife has
gonna
a few. I don't collect it.
break them out. We'll do
The
a
only coins I got,
show and tell.
I made this little cube not long ago, welded up with my aluminum welder, and I put a slot in the top of it,
Piggy
and
bank.
I'm filling it full of quarters. If I ever get in
There
a
you
bind,
go.
I'll drill a hole in the bottom of it and get my quarters back out.
There you go. Y'all do the silver. Well, not real silver, but dimes and quarters.
Yeah, I'm just putting nothing but quarters in that. And I'll
That'll
fill
work.
it
See
up.
how much you can fit in, jam in
Yeah,
there. You know, jam, and then let somebody guess how much money's inside of it,
I
and
ordered that little.
do a giveaway. You know, say if y'all guess how many quarters, how much money to the T.
Wow.
Now it's got to be exact because you know it's quarters. I'll we do a giveaway like something not the quarters, but I'll give away one of these boxes. All
Hey,
I
I
ordered
gotta
that
go.
little.
I gotta go. I'll holler at y'all later.
right, Coon.
All right, man.
Boy, look
See you,
at
Coon.
the pretty whales on that thing, man.
Yeah, I
I'd
bought
like to
this
claim
little.
the giveaway.
It's a little kit. It's a little kit you can buy and just make cubes. You can order some that's got holes in it for like dice or whatever. I ordered this and I said I'm gonna make a little piggy bank, just something to practice on aluminum every now and then. Because if I don't practice, you'll start losing your hand at that welding. I mean, I'm half blind
Yeah.
like it is, but
Use it or lose it.
that's
Yeah,
it.
you want some stickers made up for putting on it?
Did you TIG that, or Hermit says, how'd you do
That
that?
that's TIG welded, aluminum TIG. I've got a prime weld 225X in my garage that'll weld
Yeah,
ACR DC.
check out his see that Skill Savvy DIY Hermit right there, right there.
Under my name, under my face.
Yeah, yeah. Skill Savvy DIY. That's the name of the channel. He shows off equipment, tools, and stuff that
It's a little bit of everything.
he doesn't do cheap ass stuff. Put it that way.
I
If he
cover
don't
some
like it, he ain't gonna make
welding.
a video with it.
I do some automotive, primarily air conditioning, like automotive air conditioning. And that's what I'll be hitting on the most coming up because of what time of year it is. I'll probably be getting more and more of that work in.
That's right.
But
Roll of dimes.
whatever I feel like doing at the moment.
What gauge is the material on that? Probably what 3/16, eighth.
That's 1/8 inch aluminum.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool though. Them boxes.
Was that Jeff?
You said there. That's pretty cool. That aluminum box. I like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they sell them just for practice, but I've got bigger pieces of aluminum, but I don't want to use them in practice with it because you never know where you might need it at for an actual project or something, you know. And I ordered a box full of these other ones that are just rectangles. That's all as far as just practicing every now and then. If I feel like
Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Fort Walton. That's there by in between Pensacola and Panama City, or it's on the Panhandle, right? Fort Walton Beach.
Yeah, I worked in HVAC years ago. And then while I was still employed at the shipyard, at night times I would go to a local air conditioner shop for automotive, and I worked there for, good Lord, 17 years. It was a second job. And on Saturdays, I'd go in all day. So technically, it was another full-time job, and I'd done that for years. I'm retired now, so I've been taking some jobs in here, just right here at my house, for select people that know about me and do their air conditioners. Way cheaper than a shop can do it because I don't have the overhead, and I have all the equipment I need. I just bought a piece right here. Matter of fact, something I've been needing for the past couple of years, and I finally bit the bullet and bought it. That's a refrigerant analyzer to make sure what you're pulling into your recovery tank is 100% of what it's supposed to be. You know. Yeah, I ordered that.
I seen somebody. They had it was Vivor. I forget what it was though. Variac.
What was it?
Vivor. So I saw somebody had they were doing a video, and they had I seen a Vivor. It was a Variac, and there was a Vivor brand name, and it was a 20 amp.
This is that.
And they're about $50 for a 20 amp Vivor.
Here's this refrigerant analyzer that's made by Infocon. And you take a sample of the refrigerant and it runs it through here. And it will tell you if it's 100% R134A, or if you got the newer refrigerant, the 1234YF that automotives are having to use since, well, everybody's been doing it since 2022. It'll test that also to make sure you got 100% of what it's supposed to be. But if it's mixed with like a hydrocarbon, there's a lot of things you can buy on Amazon and even at the auto parts that is not the real deal refrigerant. It's actually butane, and it's it'll let you know if it's in there. That way you know before you recover what you're putting in this tank. And if you got like hydrocarbons, you just tell the people they're going to take it somewhere else or whatever. Otherwise, you're going to have mixed gas in your tank, and that's illegal. First
in
off,
your recovery tank, right?
you're right,
Well, what?
right.
Yeah, I know. Like propane, it is a cold natured.
Oh, it's a really good refrigerant. It's one of the
Yeah,
best. But the problem
but it's
is
highly flammable too.
when you dump that into a car that wasn't designed for that, yeah, it's highly flammable. These newer refrigerants, like the R1234YF for automotive, then you have a R454B for your household. You know, those are mildly flammable, they call them, but they had to build like the evaporator on these cars. Nowadays, they have to pass a DOT, Department of Transportation standard because of that mild flammability. So let's say you have a car like mine that run off of R134A. Those systems were not built for flammable refrigerants. And if you had an evaporator leaking, somebody in there fire up a cigarette and you had a leak and didn't know it, boom, you know, if you
Yeah,
have a heavy enough concentration going in there. And I don't know how they can legally sell that crap. It's not approved by the EPA or, you know, but that's what that machine as far as is for that reason there and there, that was expensive. But I just felt like if I'm going to do this, I've got to know, you know,
right.
and that's the only reason I bought it. But
No, highly flammable.
no, not like gasoline. Matter of fact, I watch this one guy. He does HVAC and a likable guy on the channel, and he actually cracked open a bottle of the 454B, mildly flammable, and he took his lighter, and it would try to light, but it kept going out. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't
Mm,
sit there and blow like butane would.
yeah, like
You know,
mildly flammable. Is that like being a little bit pregnant? No.
it's flammable. And here's the thing: if you were in a wreck and your gas tank blew up, and if you were in that kind of heat, no, it's kind of like lighter fluid that you put on charcoal. You know how you put it on there and you have to light it, and it just starts off as a little flame, and
Yeah.
it gets hotter and hotter. Then
Oh
all of a
yeah.
sudden you squirt some more on it, and whoosh,
Oof.
like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
It's
you
kind
got
of
that
like that.
temperature is already there. You know.
Right, right. Look at it kind of like that. If it was already in a fire, yeah, it's gonna burn. But will it start a major fire? Probably not. It just keep going out. You know.
Like years ago, I had a swamper uh camper trailer. What was that? Anyway, swamper, and I had a full size ice box. I had the top door for the freezer, and the bottom is that, and then it was either electric or propane.
Yeah.
Well, uh, the electricity would heat up a little rod that was in a little shielded contain thing, and that would heat up the that coil thing, you know, what have you, and then it was anhydrous ammonia in the system.
Yeah.
It worked the butane. It was a little bitty pilot light
Yeah.
like that, and it
That's
would heat up and make, and if you heat something up, it gets cold in that system. And just like that little that element, it was an electric element, you know, that got hot and it heated up that pipe, whatever, and that anhydrous ammonia is very cold, and that gets cold. Hell, I was freezing milk in a camper refrigerator. Imagine that.
I've actually worked on those, and the way it works actually is the propane supplies the pilot light that
But that's
heats
all it
up.
is a pilot. Yeah, it's never a
All it is.
flame,
It's a
but just a
pilot,
pilot. It
and
heats
it.
up that system.
But what the pilot does is it makes that ammonia start rising up, and then it starts circulating through the rest of the system, and it just keeps. Next thing you know, you got a continuous cycle like a compressor was pumping it
Right.
through, but instead that little flame is keeping this stuff moving, and that's how it gets its cooling effect. It'll go through an orifice tube or expansion valve just like any other system, but instead of a compressor, it's actually the circulation is created by the heat off of that flame, making it rise.
Yeah.
Then gravity is making it circulate, and it just keeps going, continuous loop. That's how it
Right.
actually works. Yeah.
And then when you ain't got no propane, well, I used to run mine was run off electricity, but I could do the propane if I wanted to. If you didn't have access to power somewhere, a plug-in pole, you still had your refrigerator working on your propane.
Right.
And it's a simple system, and it works.
It works
it works
great.
well.
It works really well.
710. What's up, mon ami?
A lot of things can be used as a refrigerant. Even water, believe it or not, can be used as a type of refrigerant. But that's why they're always playing with these different refrigerants, trying to get one that won't kill the ozone, that won't create global warming. And it's just chemists go in there and they keep trying this, that, and the other till they come up with the one that can settle all the issues. And I hope they nailed it this time, because I lived through when I worked at the AC shop through the 90s. That's when they were getting away from R12 that cars used to have through the 60s and into the 70s, and they abolished that refrigerant and everything had to go to R134A. Well, that was great for the ozone, they say, but then they found out it had global warming potential. So now here we go again with these new refrigerants. Same thing with a house. R22 got replaced by 410A. Now it's being phased out, and they got the 454B and the R32, two of them that are replacing the R410A.
Then they got them new types of compressors. They call them a linear compressor. They're super quiet. I mean, hell, the old ones are quiet too. But these are supposed to be efficient, energy efficient. Yeah, but man, they break down. They go out. Samsung got some kind of million dollar lawsuit or whatever, because their refrigerators had this new type of compressor. I think it's a linear compressor, and people were going on vacation, coming home, and all their meat spoiled. Everything in the refrigerator and that freezer spoiled,
Right.
And it was because of the compressors going out. There was, it was supposed to be a good system, but apparently it wasn't,
Yeah.
I've got a little freezer over there, just a little, you can't see it because of my microscope and all that other stuff. But I got one of them little freezers. My mother-in-law had it. We got it for Christmas or something from her. And that thing, it didn't make the light bill jump up at all. It's an upright freezer. It's a freezer.
They don't have much impact.
And she got it from, I forget what, Lowe's, Home Depot. They brought two of them. They charged her for two. So we just paid her a little bit every month, $15, $20 a month. And in a year, it was ours. $200.
Yeah.
Nice little freezer, but it ain't self-defrosting. You got to defrost it yourself. Find that out the hard way.
That's what my little freezer is. One of my first videos I did on this newer channel, the Skill Savvy, was I had the start relay on my little freezer go out. And it wasn't like the old coil type relays, electromagnet types. This is a thermistor. And it's like, holy crap, it's got a little disc in there. And the way it works is while it's cold, it allows voltage to go through the start winding to start the compressor, and it heats up rapidly. The hotter it gets, it creates more and more resistance, and it can't pass any more voltage through it. Well, it works fine for about 4 years. Then that little disc would just shatter from the cooling and heating back and forth over 4 years. And so I got to looking on Amazon, and I found the replacement for $11 and I ordered two of them. One of them's right here. I said, if it only lasts 4 years, I'll probably get about 4 years out of this one. So I went ahead and got another one so I can get 12 years at least out of this thing. And that's all it was. But I cannot tell you how many people come back comment and said, "Man, thank you. That's exactly what was wrong with mine. Is the same brand as mine, a little chest freezer, you know." And they did what I did in that video and come back and said, "That's what it was. That's what it was." They're designed to fail, man. They don't want you to buy a freezer every 20 years. They want you to buy one every 4 years. You know, it's
Yeah.
by design.
A friend of mine's got a freezer that he just replaced the that relay and the thermostat unit because the thing quit running. Well, it turned out
Yeah.
its motor. It was pumped. It didn't do any good to replace anything else. And
Right.
it was only a year old.
A
Yeah,
year
well,
old?
Man, that's sad right
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine. I remember looking. I pulled it out, took the cover off, and plugged it up after let it sit for and click and click. And I said, "This thing's going out on thermal overload," and that's when I figured it was that start relay. It wasn't hitting that start winding. It give it that boost. You know, that's exactly what it was.
And like a PTC.
Yeah, there's a PTC thermistor
Yeah.
inside of this
Like
little plastic thing. And just
temperature
the three
coefficient. Yeah.
terminals, the 3 terminals on your compressor, your start, run. Let's say start, run, and common. It's flipped over. It just pushes on there like that, and then you got your wiring from there, and that's all it is. That little thermistor allows voltage to go through it while it's cold. And then once it starts, it heats up rapidly. It won't allow voltage to keep going to that start winding. And by the time it runs its cycle and cycles off by the thermostat, it's done cooled off again. So it's ready for another cycle whenever that thermostat tells it to kick back on. It works great, but the problem is it just don't last like as long as what a regular type start relay would, you know, potential type relays or even just regular start relays.
Yeah, good.
They got a place over here called Opelousas Radio in Opelousas. They used to sell it was like a Ralph's Electronics or
Mhm.
Menards Electronics. Menards, we got them. It's I don't know how far out Menards Electronics goes. I know they got one in Lafayette and Ralph's Electronics, but that's Ralph's is that's like I could go and buy all of this stuff over there at Ralph's Electronics. I can go buy anything that DigiKey has. Well, they more than likely would have it, Ralph's Electronics. But I forgot. Well, damn, I went off in the weeds. I forgot what I wanted to say. Talking about Ralph's. It was, God dog it.
It's amazing how often that happens.
What you're talking about? What was the last thing I said? Before Ralph's Electronics.
I thought that was it. Look at the size
Or
of
Menards
the cake that thing
Electronics.
come in, boo.
You said the last thing you said.
Yeah, the last thing.
That's all I
That's
heard.
that analyzer.
Yeah, that thing got one hell of a case, man. It's like that.
Yeah, that thing would take a shockwave.
Yeah. I was glad to see that actually. But yeah.
All right, there, Radio Mike.
I gotta do a lot of AC work to pay for that dude.
Get some rest.
They're not cheap.
Hermit actually, Russ, you got coins. His wife's got some coins. She finds that in the till all sometimes, silver
Well,
and stuff.
she already had like a coin collection and stuff, but she's got an eye for that when she's doing change. Which she's not doing that for her job anymore. She's cooking breakfast and stuff at this place, and so she don't get to handle money like she did at the other place. But man, she's constantly banging. Look what I got. You know, it's pure silver coins. But she's got her little stash going on.
Dog, what I was talking about.
I just never have really gotten into that. I don't reckon. You know, I might at some point. Who knows?
I think you were talking about something about a giveaway again.
No.
That's what it was. What you doing?
I wasn't paying attention. I had to get something to eat. I'm falling asleep already. But working
part of
11
it.
hours every day, nonstop, will put you to sleep.
Yeah, I was wondering. I hadn't got a text from you in a while. I said, "Damn, he must be working overtime."
Yeah, I work 44 hours every week. But I'm
Where you
looking
working at?
around
Where you
because
do?
I'm looking around. Look, I'm looking around because I'm putting in more applications because I'm at this job almost 3 weeks a month, and they tell me yesterday we're gonna hire 12 people. 6 of y'all are gonna be here. 6 of y'all are hitting the unemployment line. And I went, I just started here. What the hell? I'm like, are you serious? I said, why the hell did you hire my ass then? They pay good money, but I'm like, I could have went somewhere else. We could have wasted, but I mean, like I said, I'm making good money, but I'm just like, well, thank you for telling me this. So I think I got another 6 weeks with this company before they give me the axe. But
So they're gonna lay you off for sure, or
they might.
Oh,
Well, they said they're gonna hire 12 people and keep 6 of us. I mean, but they can't keep anybody because as soon as somebody hires, they quit. They quit the first day.
Wow.
I worked with a lady today. She walked up. They don't like to clean. They don't like to be there for 11 hours. They want to sit on their butt. I don't know. They go, I ain't getting that much money.
Check. Okay, might as
You
well
gotta
go home. You ain't gonna get no check, but go home if you don't want to work.
You got a 50%
Exactly.
chance. You got a 50% chance of not getting fired. Is one way of looking at it.
Yeah,
Probably.
You said they're going.
But I got other offers. So I mean, I'm just kind of like, I have a backup plan because I gotta have a backup plan. But but they're actually paying me more than they said they were gonna pay me, and I got 4 hours of overtime every week, so I take it while I can. But
Today's
7 in the morning to 6 p.m. That's a long ass day.
I hear you. What are you doing? I mean, are you? I don't want to get too nosy.
Cleaning the Amazon warehouse.
No, okay.
I don't work for Amazon, but I work for the warehouse is pretty damn big.
Okay, you don't work directly for them. I seen where they were cutting back big time, thousands of jobs.
Dang.
Everything
Well, yeah, they built it. They had a big Amazon place by his house, and they opened up for, I don't know, it wasn't long, and they shut it down.
No, that's the one I'm at.
Oh, that's the one you at?
They opened it. They opened it in September. They built it 5 years ago. They built it 5 years ago and let it sit there and rot. They were talking about, they had rumors they were going to turn it into a prison because it's the size of 3 football fields. Just the warehouse. It's on like, I don't know, 10 or 12 acres at least, probably maybe more, way more than that. But yeah, I walk about an average of 12,000 steps. I actually got a damn ulcer on both my toes from wearing these steel toe. So I got a hole in my toe now, which ain't good for me. So I got pus coming out my toe as we speak. But yeah, it is what it is. But I'm trying to actually get on at Amazon because they make $21.50 an hour just to start. I said, hell yeah.
Mike was muted. Yeah, a few guys from New Orleans. Well, south of New Orleans. But where you originally from? Bell Chase down there? Or by the tunnel?
Chalmette.
Chalmette. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I read that comment about South is good old boy society. New Orleans don't count.
Yeah, they got different accents down there.
That's a different breed in New Orleans.
Well, Chalmette is right on the Mississippi River. Hey, it's Brock's boys. Woot woot, Brock's boys.
Brock's boys, what's up?
Well, Hermit, I'll tell you this. I've been fired from 3 jobs in the last 5 years, so I got a track record going on. So being fired ain't nothing new for me. But kissing ass doesn't work anymore in this society. Pardon my French, but But
No, not
yeah,
really.
Brock's boys worked in Amazon for 8 years. One day he showed up and they said, "Here you go, Merry Christmas. Here's a pink slip. Have a nice day."
Dang, not good.
Well, if you ever
Yeah.
decide to get into the shipbuilding industry, you can find a job down here on the Mississippi coast, a good paying job. We're talking. My oldest son went to work for Bollinger, which is a Louisiana company. They open a yard over there in Pascagoula on the opposite side of Ingalls, and man, he's making
Yeah.
like almost $50 an hour. You know, it's like holy crap. They wouldn't pay that good.
I don't know how to
now.
do any of that stuff. My uncle
It's
wanted to
rough-
make me
it's
weld
rough
one
work,
time,
but
and
it's
I was
good
like,
money.
nope. I went to my
On a
uncle's
boat
house while he
trailer.
was still alive. And yeah, I went to my uncle's house while he was still alive. And he always, every time I went to his house, he wanted me to help him do something. He's sitting there
Yeah.
welding the one of the axles or something on the back of the what you call it, the pickup thing with the little things with the wheels or whatever. And he's welding this stuff together and goes, "Hey," he handed me a thing. There's sparks flying everywhere. I said, I'm not comfortable with this shit. He goes, "Oh, it ain't nothing. Here, put this on." Hands me the
$1?
damn thing. I said, "You want the place to burn?" Huh?
A dolly?
It was like a trailer. It was a trailer, and it was like a thing with wheels, like on the back of like a pickup truck. You know, you put on the
A dolly. Trailer dolly.
yeah. I don't know what the
Like
term
you
was
put-
for,
you
but the
put-
axle.
You drive a car on the front of it, and you can haul that car with it. It's
Yeah,
small.
something like that. It
Just
was.
the two front tires go on it, and that's the
Yeah.
only thing I can
But
think of. The
the
trailer and you haul
the
things
axle
on.
was broken, so the
Yeah.
axle was broken, so he was welding it back together. He's like, I'm not throwing. The hell with this. I ain't throwing this shit away.
Yeah,
You know,
that
my
kind
uncle
of
didn't
work
throw
ain't
anything
for
away.
everybody. It takes a special breed to do that kind of work, though. I'm gonna tell you. I've seen it like in that shipyard. I've seen so many people come in and leave, come in and leave. Retention is one of their hardest things because it takes a special breed to be able to cut that kind of job, you know.
Especially in the
But
summertime.
yeah, especially yeah. But
I know
I did
guys
it
that
for
worked at
God.
the
I did it for the
shipyard.
majority of
And,
my life, and it was brutal. But hey, it paid the bills. I raised the family with it, and now they're both my boys are working at shipyards. And my youngest one, he bought a big, nice house up here in Bankley. Man, driving a new car. I mean, working his ass off to pay for all that. But you know, they do pay good. That's the thing.
oh, he moved to Bankley?
He'd been there. This May it'd be 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
Since he bought that house. That's my youngest son. And,
Oh, okay. So wait, you still got one son lives in Mobile, that area?
yeah, he's the one that's
Okay.
went to work at Bollinger back in November. And he's,
Oh, okay.
matter of fact, he just moved in from Hull Department into pipe welding. And so he's doing good. Yeah, I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought.
I'll probably
That's happening
got
a lot
you
on
off
the
in the
stream
weeds.
tonight.
Yeah. My fault.
It's a hard way to go, but once you get used to it, it ain't nothing really. It's just, you know, but you got to have the skill set too. You can't just go out there and do that job without knowing how. I mean, you know, you
Right.
got to learn. But
I'm good at breaking
it's
stuff,
not
and I can
it's
burn
not for
stuff down.
everybody. I'll
Fixing
tell you
it.
that it's not for everybody.
I got a buddy of mine years and years ago. He was a welder. He ran a company, and they did some offshore stuff. And they had, I forget how many miles of pipe and all that. And when they finally met up in the middle like that, you know, or you know, to tie in,
Yeah.
it was 3/16 off, which is very acceptable. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
acceptable. 3/16.
Sure.
You know, you can do this and you know stab it. You know, the flanges
Right.
together. But yeah, this guy was good. He was like you. You know, your caliber of a welder, and he was you know running this one company, and they did some huge stuff. Well, this was back. Let me see, in 1983, 84. That was before I was married. He was getting what they call that unemployment, getting a check every week. He got unemployed back in the 80s. that's when the oil field started to go down a little bit, you know. And then about 85 is when it took a deep dive. But anyway, he had got an unemployment and all that. And then when he got a job, and we used to run around hustling pool all the time, so we was always in the air and this and this and that. Boy, he went to work for, I think it was Fashion Shipyard and by Banker down south by Intercoastal City on the Vermilion River, and he was working in welding inside of barges, inside in the summertime. Oh man, that was an oven, them big old iron boxes, man.
I was talking about them aircraft carriers earlier. Well, I was way up forward on that Theodore Roosevelt, and that flight deck is like 6 inches thick in places. And it was summertime, and I'm in Virginia, which their climate that time of the year is not like ours. And man, it was so freaking hot in this one compartment I had to go into. And I was welding up new valves and stuff like that, socket welds for the catapult system. They run all through there, the steam piping and everything. Most of it was only ½ inch, 3/4, maybe up to 1 inch. And I was in there making some welds, and it was just brutal. That heat just radiating out of that steel. It's like, holy crap. Thick ass deck, it's gonna hold that heat in even overnight. It ain't gonna cool down much. It's like a cast iron skillet, but it's only that thick. Is the big difference. It's gonna keep that heat in there. No air conditioning, none of that up there.
All right, yeah. Catapult. I'm still confused about that term. Catapult.
You ever see videos where the jets leave an aircraft carrier and take off? They get to the very nose of the ship, and all of a sudden they're off and away. Well, they have a catapult that actually slings them like a slingshot to get their speed up. And they have these blast doors that pop up behind the jet to stop the blast from,
cooking somebody.
That, protect people or whatever. And that catapult grabs them and literally sends them out like a slingshot. Yeah, long consistent device.
That's why I put launcher in the comments.
But they call
them about an hour ago.
That's what they call them.
Right. Catapult.
They went from steam to electric. Catapults.
Yes, they did.
And then they got the cabling system, to stop it, the arresting system to stop it. And those cables, how often they got to change the cables on that? Like once a week or something?
Oh, I don't know. But I do know they're trained to where if they missed a cable, if they missed it, they know. And they that way they can go right back up.
They do like a Honda CR250R. Hit the gas and get back up there. Jump that ramp.
Right. Yeah, the older ones were driven by steam. The newer class out there, I think they got 2 of them so far. Out of the 11 aircraft carriers, 2 of them have the electromagnet catapults, no steam. But all the other ones, the older ones, the what class is that? I was on a Theodore Roosevelt, but they call it, I forget the first one, but it's that class of ship. And they're all steam driven.
Is it the same device used in safe landing in a short distance? No. No, the ones that they catch on the landing is behind that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a massive ship. All of them are, man. They're huge, like floating cities.
Yeah. And years ago, the decks were made out of wood.
Yeah.
Your first aircraft carriers the decks were made out of wood.
Well, battleships, the decks were teak wood, and they had metal under it, but the teak wood was to absorb bullets as they come in. That was the whole purpose for those teak wood decks. Instead of them ricocheting, they wanted them bullets to bury up. That was the logic behind that on the battleship.
Okay.
On a battleship. Oh, yeah, like the planes coming down, shooting. Sound effect.
It'll absorb those bullets instead of it just pew, pew, pew.
Oh, yeah. If you don't get hit by it this time, if you don't get hit by it, somebody else is gonna get hit by it on the ricochet.
Yeah, them kamikazes, they didn't care. They would just fly the plane right into the ship back in World War
Yeah.
II.
Oh yeah.
Suicide missions.
Yeah,
It wasn't like them
kamikazes,
old
yeah.
battleships. Them battleships were tough, man. They had some metal on them.
Yeah, what radio is that one right there? Your avatar. I can't quite make it out. Jeb.
He might have stepped away.
Yeah, he might have stepped away.
Oh,
Can't quite make out that radio.
Jim's not here at the phone right now. Please leave a message at the beep. I spilled my beer. I'm disappointed. Oh well. Drink that some bitch anyway.
Yeah, them old British ships that came over here, they were all wood. Their Navy, the British, when they come to America back in the 1800s, there wasn't no such thing as metal ships back in them days.
Oh, wooden ships. And then, then old Ironsides, the ironclad ones that they could take a cannonball, bounce a cannonball off the side.
Yep. Did you know, I didn't know this till just here recently. I was watching a video on the history of English shipbuilding, but do you know that they, now in America, not the world, but they were the first shipbuilder to ever complete a fully welded ship that wasn't riveted right here at Ingalls. That's back when Bob Ingalls still owned it. Yep.
Pascagoula.
Pascagoula.
That sleepy little town of Pascagoula.
I thought that was a pretty good piece of trivia there. I never knew that. Prior to that, everything was riveted.
Old battle side
from World War II.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was riveted years and years ago. Your old locomotive, the boilers on the front of the locomotive.
Yeah.
The boiler tank, that was all riveted.
Yeah, that's the way it was done back then. Actually, when welding first got produced, it was kind of scoffed at as not being viable, and then eventually they were proven wrong, of course, All your skyscrapers in New York prior to welding, all that was rivets holding all those beams together, every bit of it.
Jeb, your avatar, what radio is that?
That's a 87999.
Okay, I knew I couldn't put it on my tongue, but okay, gotcha.
Yep.
I couldn't think of the number. That's why I was saying, Jeb, what's the make of that radio? That's some expensive radios, man. They had one, I think it was on eBay for $2,000, like $1,900 and something dollars.
Yeah.
Like,
jeez.
I've got one.
They can keep it.
I gave $1,000 for.
The guy gave $1,000 for it.
Gave $1,000 for it, and it didn't work.
Yeah, broke.
I'm trying to straighten it out now.
Well, that's why it's on your bench. Get fixed.
Yep, got it working, except for I don't have sideband audio. Trying to find out where the sideband audio went to.
Yeah, well, it ain't the audio chip. We know that.
No, it's not the audio chip.
No, it's not because,
and it's not the balance modulator.
the sideband audio chip doesn't work with that part of it. Works on the AM side.
It does on this one. The audio chip on these radios feed sideband as well.
Do what?
The audio chip feeds sideband audio as well.
Oh, it does? Oh, okay.
It also feeds sideband.
Okay.
That's where I've got audio for everything else through PA, AM audio, but for some reason it's killing it in sideband. That's where I'm trying to find why it's killing it in sideband. It's not getting to the sideband. I thought it was there's a transistor there that gets turned on and off for AM and sideband. When it's in AM, it kills the audio to the balance modulator.
No.
Oh,
No,
and
I was like, no, I didn't fact check him. I assume he knows what he's talking about.
yeah, it's
I
Midland
have no idea.
78999.
Right.
If you follow it out from pin 9 on the audio chip, it comes out and drops down because there's a place for AM and receive to continue on through. But there's a capacitor. I forget which capacitor it is. Let me look that real quick. Come on, here we go. Let's see here. Off the audio chip. Come on now. There we go. I'm having a hard time reading the schematics because with getting the eyes done today, it's all fuzzy.
Getting what done today?
The cataract removed from my right eye.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You had your other eye done then.
Yeah, the left eye just got done today, so everything's a little fuzzy.
Mrs.
imagine.
Beating up the stove.
If you,
They pretty much do that as an outpatient now, don't they?
yeah,
Yep.
that is okay. It's capacitors 83. You come off pin 10 off the audio chip. It comes through to comes through to C66. That goes through to your audio coil. But if you look at the resistor R81 and down to C83, that feeds the balance modulator. That goes to, I forget what pin on the balance modulator. Comes through. Oops. What did I do? Go the wrong direction? Yeah. No, I just didn't come down far enough. Yeah, just below the balance modulator goes into RB3. And then RB3 goes into pin 1 of the balance modulator.
So which one is it going to be?
What's that? Yeah, really. Well, that's the thing is for some reason between the point on the coming off the audio chip, pin 10, to pin 1 of the balance modulator, I'm losing my audio somehow. And I haven't figured out.
Cap going to ground somewhere in between?
I've replaced all the electrolytics in the whole radio. I've recapped it. I've checked Q1, which is AM, comes on in AM to ground the pin 1 of the balance modulator in AM. I've got 34 ohms to ground at that point. Actually at C16, 3.3 microfarad tantalum. Got 34 ohms to ground there. But for some reason, it's not switching the Q1. Q1 is not switching on and off. And I went back to power distribution 10, which is, AMB channel, AMB. And it's fed by 2 diodes. One from the AM switch, which is working. I get the AM turn on and off, but it's also fed from sideband on off as well, which makes no sense to me. Makes none whatsoever. Why you would feed AM and sideband when it's only supposed to turn AM on and off audio? But I'll get it sooner or later. I've checked the tantalum. The tantalum's not shorted out. And I've also checked, let's see, what other one was in there? C88. Sure it wasn't shorted out. and it's not. So I gotta do some more chasing there. I even backed up from the audio chip to see if there was a sideband voltage feed and AN voltage feed, separate feeds or something on the audio chip.
Well,
Let's see.
if
Don't
I knew
quote
you
me.
made a mistake, I would have fact checked you there, Hermit.
I mean, I'm always wrong. I get fact checked by everybody because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about half the time.
I don't fact check nobody, but if I know something to be true, I'll call you out on it. You know, if I know, kind of like the dissimilar metals earlier. They definitely weld dissimilar metals, depending on what it is.
No, I don't know. I don't know nothing about metals unless it's copper or silver. That's about it, really.
And you're dealing with coins on that. I'm talking about welding the two together or brazing even.
Oh,
But
yeah,
there's
you might as well be talking about hardwood floors, but
I've
you
heard
way
this
over my
for
head on that.
years. I actually read it in a book, and I don't mean to cut you off, Jeb, just real quick. I always heard that if you take metals that are very similar in their molecules or whatever, that they can actually bond by just touching each other. I always heard that if you took pure gold or gold and laid it against lead or set lead on top of it and come back after however long, they will actually bond together just from touching each other. I read that. I've never tested it, never, or anything like that, but that's what I read. Very similar in nature as far as the molecules, gold and lead. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. All right, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. What we're getting at.
Well, it'd be an interesting experiment if you could afford to buy the gold and
Yeah, that's
to
the thing.
go
I
with
don't know if I
lead.
want to mess up some gold with a hunk of lead,
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's got to be pure gold or what. I don't remember. I read that many, many years ago.
Well, they're dense enough. Both of them are dense
It
enough.
kind of goes back to what I was talking about, the explosion welding. Dissimilar metals can be actually forced together through enough pressure, and very similar metals can be put together with very little pressure, not even actually welded and fused, just the pressure exerted on the two. Like take some gold and the lead on top of gold, the weight of the lead supposedly will weld to it.
I don't know enough about metals, but that sounds logical, though.
Yeah, I only know the stuff I know just from being a welder for 45 years, but
I can stick weld, but I have a MIG that I am having an extremely hard time with.
really.
Yeah, I
As a
can't.
pipe welder, I primarily
Yeah.
did only TIG welding and stick welding. Well, take that back. Depends on where you work. If I was working like an oil refinery, a lot of carbon steel pipe, we would actually stick weld all that out. But in a shipyard, most of it was TIG welding because of the different alloys: copper, nickel copper, Inconel, stainless steels, aluminum, stuff like that. We always use TIG, but we still use stick mainly for hangers and supports to support the piping system. But everything else is TIG.
Right, that MIG I've got, I just can't seem to get the hang of that thing. I wind up with a bunch of chicken crap.
You can boil water. You can boil water with negative pressure in a vacuum at real low temperatures. It still has to be at a certain temperature, though. And then that's like water boils at 212 at sea level. That's at 14.7 atmospheric pressure. You get up in the mountains, you're going to have to get a lot of hotter for it to
Yeah.
boil.
Yeah.
But if you pull it in a vacuum, it can boil at 70 degrees. Ask me how I know. It's called a vacuum sealer. You put something in there that's just barely warm and try to vacuum seal it, that stuff will go to boiling out of the bag.
I thought it took more to boil at higher pressure But
It
if you
takes
go higher in altitude, you get less
the
pressure.
less the pressure. Let's see. I just
Least
said
pressure
that
boils quicker.
14.7 pounds of pressure at atmospheric. The higher you go, is it less pressure
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
mountains?
because
You have to
you get
have
at
shit.
sea
I done
level.
got myself confused now.
Yeah, you get at sea level. You got all the air molecules pushing down,
Right, you
which
got more
creates
pressure
higher pressure.
exerted.
The higher you get in the atmosphere, the thinner the air gets, so the pressure is less.
I think I said that bass acre does water.
Well, I was trying to
Fact
look
checking
something up
myself.
and I couldn't find it. Oh well.
Okay, I said it bass acre. I thought it did. Up in the mountains, it will boil at a lower
At a
temperature
lower
than
temperature.
212, and that holds true. What I was saying about a vacuum, which really pulls the pressure into a negative, it boils even lower. So yeah,
Yeah.
I was right. I just said it bass backwards.
Yeah.
So if you halfway up, I always thought it needed a hotter flame to boil water. The higher you got, I thought you always needed a hotter fire.
No.
No.
Well,
Just
Oh,
no, it
okay.
boils at lower temperature.
Oh, I didn't
it,
know. I thought it was a higher. I thought you
If you
needed
had a stove,
more oomph, to
no, it's
boil
just
water at.
opposite of what I was
Oh,
saying.
okay.
I was
Huh.
thinking wrong, but a vacuum is kind of duplicating. It takes it out of that 14.7 atmospheric pressure and drops it below that when you start pulling a vacuum. And you can't get a perfect vacuum. That would be absolute zero, but you can get really close. But the more vacuum you pull on it, the less the temperature has to be for it to actually start boiling.
Hmm.
That kind of goes back to refrigeration, how it works. Because when you got refrigerant in a liquid form, and when it goes in an evaporator, it's actually boiling, but it's boiling at a very cold temperature, instead of a warm temperature, and it's absorbing heat as the air blows through the evaporator and pumping it out the condenser. That's how all that works.
10,000 feet.
But can
The
you boil water with pressure?
at 10,000 feet, the atmospheric pressure is 10.1 psi instead of what, 14 or 15 at
Would
sea
a
level.
data center on the moon in a vacuum be extremely? Boy, he's asking some questions now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
Would a data center on the moon in a vacuum be extremely efficient?
No,
Well, I
because
mean,
there's no
it's a
we're
the
in a
surface of
vacuum.
the moon is in a vacuum. The space is in a vacuum.
Yeah, it is in a vacuum. But did you know that you can? I've heard people say this is the only reason I'm saying it. People say that you cannot get a perfect vacuum on Earth, which is true, but you can in outer space. That's false. You still can't. As
Right.
long as there's any kind of molecular motion or any kind of life or anything, you cannot achieve a perfect vacuum. That would just be total nothingness. Just like you can't reach absolute zero. You can get really cold, like with liquid nitrogen and stuff like that, but with absolute 0 degrees, nothing could sustain. There would be nothingness, in other words.
Right.
So the same thing holds with a vacuum. You can never achieve absolute zero pressure. It's not possible. You can
I
get
didn't mean
really
to
close
correct you
though.
on that, but it just, I thought you got it backwards there.
No, I got that part right.
'Cause I always thought that, for some reason, I don't know, when I was young, very young, that I always thought that the teacher or somebody said that it takes a hotter fire to boil water at a high elevation, because and I associated with higher elevation with a higher temperature flame, to boil water. Because
Is
I know
fire?
cooking's different. Cooking's different up, half,
It is.
at seven
It is.
thousand feet, above sea level. Cooking's different.
Right. Well, is fire hotter at higher altitudes or lower? or is it the same heat? It makes you wonder, John.
Must be hotter. No idea.
Yeah. But latent heat, you know what that is? That's hidden heat. It's kind of like when you're boiling water, it turns into steam at 212 degrees. It goes from a liquid to a gas or a vapor. We call it
Right.
steam.
Right.
That steam is much hotter
Then the
than
water.
212, but you can't measure it.
Yeah.
That's hidden heat. Latent heat means hidden heat.
Yeah. You
know,
see,
it's not-
you can, some people, and I said this a couple of times, some people argue that I say water stays at 212. At boiling, water stays. Water does not get hotter than 212. Water
don't.
does not.
Nope.
But the steam that's coming off of it is hotter than hell.
It's way hotter. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's latent heat of evaporation.
And then you cover it and you seal the top like a pressure cooker. It gets extremely hot in there, and
Right.
then you blowing gaskets.
Right.
And see that goes right back to the vacuum. Instead of boiling in a vacuum, now you're boiling under higher pressure than
You do it in reverse.
atmospheric.
Right.
So it's hotter. That's why meat can get completely tender in a pressure cooker in 1 hour instead of 3 hours in a pot.
Right.
Because that added pressure. Yeah, that's exactly right. It will actually boil at a lot higher temperature.
They got
what it's saying here. Water boils at 193.6 at 10,000 feet.
193. Okay, that's
Right.
12. So that's 19 degrees lower than normal.
Yep. It boils quicker at a higher altitude.
Solid, liquid, gas. What is the fourth state?
Well,
Don't know.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Explosion.
No, it's
Popping
how
rivet.
it's how a freeze dryer works. I have a freeze dryer. Sublimation.
Oh, yeah.
Sublimation.
Okay.
Sublimation is where you can go from. You can get. Let's see. That's where you go from a solid to a liquid. No, wait a minute. Hang on.
Something like that. And then back. Full
No,
circle.
you missed one step. You go from a solid to a gas. You go from
To
a solid
liquid,
to a gas.
solid,
You're missing
to
the liquid. That's
solid,
sublimation.
liquid, gas.
Yeah, well, it's a solid, and then it just turns into a vapor. And on a freeze dryer, that vapor clings to this chamber, and from there, it's collected as frost. It never turns into liquid until you turn the machine off and everything thaws out. But it goes straight from frozen to vapor. It misses the liquid part. Okay.
Oh, okay. And the
So-
freeze drying process.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and that's also true. That whole principle of sublimation, I think I'm saying that right. Sublimation is also true with refrigeration. We're not going to get all that deep, but plasma is recognized as a fourth state of matter, distinct from solids, liquids, and gases, consisting of an ionized gas with free electrons and positive ions. It is highly electrically conductive. I got 2 plasma cutters, if that counts.
The fourth state is beer. Everybody knows that. Beer, and a lot of beer.
Hell
There you
yeah.
go. Here, hold my beer. Watch this shit.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
think
the
I remember
Everybody's a
reading
little
something
smart if
about
they
that.
load it.
I do think I remember reading something on that or hearing it. I watch a lot of YouTube videos too, man. A lot of them, all different topics.
That's just like kingdom, species, class. Classifications. Like humans, and and down to the kingdom, the species, whatever. All your classifications of
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Homo erectus, Homo
Like
sapien.
the food chain.
Well, like no, not that one. The like the kingdom. Say if you're looking up something like a plant or whatever, it'll tell you what classification, the species, okay, like it's plant. Then it's then it gets on down and down and down. I forget what they call that.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It's like you got your kingdom. It's the and then that drops down into this classification of species. Like say a fish. It's the broader, then it narrows down. To
Right.
that classification. I forget what they call that.
Like the genus.
Yeah, genus.
So
Yeah,
like
I
how,
said genre, but yeah, genus.
yeah. Sort of like how.
Kingdom,
Yeah.
plantaceous,
Sort of like how the tomato.
herbaceous. Yeah,
Yeah.
tomato.
Like the
Then you got
tomatoes in the nightshade category. The
then you got
nightshade is
right.
deadly, but you can eat a
then you
tomato.
got. I remember learning all that crap. I don't remember what I learned in school. It's been too many years, but I do remember taking it from humans to mammals to animals to all the way down to single cell organisms and stuff.
Yeah.
The different life species and things, life forms.
Right, like the fish, it's in a classification. Potatoes in the nightshade family too, but we eat potatoes.
Yeah.
But the
You got
flowers,
Yeah, true.
the flowers are
vertebrate.
poisonous, just like on tomatoes, the flowers are poisonous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
got
stay
arson
quiet
in
on
it.
this one too. I don't know enough about it to talk about it.
I'm not Phil guy. Full Wave Rec. He knows a lot, but he used to be a teacher also. Full Wave
Well,
Rec.
that
He was a
helped. That
teacher at
definitely
one
helped. I
time.
remember hearing a lot of that stuff though way back in school. I just said that word vertebrate, and I can't remember the other words and what they meant. But golly, man, that's a long time ago. I can't remember none of that stuff. If I don't use it, I'm not going to retain it.
Right. Yeah.
I know what I work around, and I try to stay up and knowledgeable on that, and that's about as far as it goes. And like I said, I don't try to fact check nobody, but if we're on a subject and I happen to know something about that, then
Right.
I'll call them out.
Oh, yeah, I'll jump in that conversation myself.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And I'll just make up stuff like the Democrats do. Right? Hey, they seem to fact check everybody. I'll just say, water isn't actually wet. You think it's wet. It's more dry. It's your imagination. People will be like, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. Yes.
Oh, my
People
word.
walk on water. You can't because you're not thinking about it.
I'll never forget watching the weather one night. This is years ago, back when Mike Reeder was the head meteorologist at WLOX here in Biloxi TV station.
Mike Reeder. I remember
He
him.
was a weatherman, and it was a cold front that moved in, and it got cold. I don't remember what month or whatever, but anyway, he goes, "Well, so much for global warming." Yeah,
I've seen that.
exactly. All these liberal conspiracy theorists. But anyway,
I used to be able to when I lived on the other side of town. I used to be able with rabbit ears. I used to be able to pick up WLOX in Biloxi. I'd pick up WVVW, and my dad lives in Waveland, so he picks all of that. He's got all that stuff with the he's got the outdoor antenna. He moves it. He's got the remote, and the antenna shifts. It goes right, left, right. He built it on a pole, and he put it outside. It's like 8 feet tall. He built it, and he just right, left, right.
Right.
But,
is that
I used
true?
to pick it up good. Now I'm on the other side of town. I got no shot with my antenna. I can't pick any Mississippi stations up. I'm too far out of range. I can get a station from like 50 miles away because really you can't get a station more than 35 miles because of the curvature of the earth. Because the antenna will, the signal will loop.
Right.
But if it's the right atmosphere and the right conditions, like with radio, you can pick up, like at radio with the sun thing, you could pick up like WWL out here. 35 states at night. During the daytime, it can be heard in 8 states, but at night it can be heard in over 35 states because of the atmospheric conditions and the
Right.
sunspots go down. And
That's like
I think
a
it's the
skip
same thing
on-
with like antennas. The signals will kind of fade and they'll kind of
Yeah,
pick
it
up.
is.
And
I think
Well,
that's
FM is
right.
line of sight. AM, the AM signals can bounce off. That's how Wolfman Jack got all famous. You know, he was at that radio station down in Mexico at night, turned up the power. That's why the radio station was in Mexico, because, you know, no limit down there. You know, no FCC ruling. Turn up that power, and he's bouncing off the ionosphere, and, you know, the whole United States is listening to Wolfman Jack there, man.
That's right. Yeah. I was getting ready to ask you how he did that. Was there repeaters? He was using the atmosphere to do it.
AM, you know, just AM skip. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I talk skip from here. You know, I talk
Sure.
to California or whatever, New York. You know,
Oh yeah, I've done it way
it
back.
depends
when I
on
was in-
conditions.
Jeez.
Depends on conditions.
Hawaii was in there the other day.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. I didn't get back to them, but Hawaii was in there.
In
That's
Nightmare
thinking
Before
of Australia or
Christmas.
Japan.
How did Sally poison her creepy husband?
How did
I
Sally
have no
poison her
idea.
husband? I don't know. Bouncing the signal off the ionosphere. Yeah, they got ham operators, which Jeb is a ham operator. They would bounce their signal off the moon.
Mm-hmm. EME.
Yeah.
Yep. You take
And,
a real long beam and point it at the moon, and you can bounce your signal right off the moon. It's pretty cool, but it's sporadic. But
Is
you
that
could do it.
true?
Yeah, you could take a real long beam, normally on 2 meter, point it at the moon, and bounce the signal off the moon.
Yeah,
Wow.
2 meter band. That's up there with VHF, which is marine radio. 2 meters, 142 to 144, something like that.
148, I believe.
I was reading-
I have to look that up again.
2 meter, yes, 144. I know 144 is in 2 meter, but then it's right up there, and then you got your VHF, your marine band is, right up there at 150s and 150s. It bounces around in the VHF marine radio. That area, the frequencies are not coordinated like 11 meters, 10 meters. It's all over the damn place up there with marine radio. They added, they were adding frequencies and all that and everything, so they had to pull it from here to there, and so, and then you had your your receiving and your transmit. You had like a Golden Eagle radios. You had receiver and transmitter separate. Well, you had that years and years and years ago on boats and stuff. You had your receive and your transmitter. They were separate.
I was
There's a
reading
lot
these
of different
comments
repeaters.
from David Carlisle about
148 or 144 through 148.
Okay.
EME stands for Earth, Moon, Earth. That's what EME is.
Yeah, extremely directional antenna. Yeah, long beam. You get a 10 element beam.
You need a real long beam in order to have enough power. Even if you're running 1,500 watts, you still need a good sized beam to be able to reach the moon and bounce back.
The gain.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I've never done it, but I do know guys that used to do it all the time.
there would have to be a delay, wouldn't there? Because of
I'm not sure what the delay is, but yeah, there would have to be a delay.
There's my stickers.
Because even reaching the ISS has 2 meter and 440. There's a delay in that too. They actually
I know
have a repeater on the other.
there's a delay just over the internet, like these live streams. There's a couple of second delay, sometimes.
Yeah, there's about a 4 or 5 second delay from what we say right now until whoever's on YouTube itself watching it.
Right.
Real time.
I was reading these comments from David Carlisle. Is that true? Potato leaves and stems are poison. And what else did you say? You said eggplant and something else.
Nightshade. Tomatoes and potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes.
Because I had mentioned that the flowers on tomatoes and all that are poisonous and all. Anything in the nightshade family.
Like deadly
She
poison or
poisoning with
just
nightshade.
poison?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
Wow, never knew that. Hold them up. Dang.
Well, here's the jump around on here. You got deep right here, channel 7 on the VHF. You got your ship transmit. It's 156.350, and then the receipt is 160.950. That's a big jump right there. That VHF Marine band, that all the channels are, and then you got 156.350, channel 7A, and then channel 8 is 156.40.
Yeah, I want to
and 156.450. Some of those go in there. You got 450, 500, 550, 600. So you're looking at 5 kcs instead of 10 like a CB. And some of this narrow banded right there. And then up here you got channel 1A 156.050, and then the next one up 156.250. 050 to 250.
Question for Hermit Camper, real quick, if I could. Hermit Camper asked if it is an extremely directional antenna used to pinpoint the moon. Yes, it is. It's a Yagi, usually 10 to 12 element Yagi antenna. On 11 meter, they normally go probably 3 elements mainly. But this is usually about 10 to 11, maybe 12 element, which is extremely directional. It takes the signal and points it right at whatever you're trying to reach. Sorry to interrupt you there, Cajun. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was done anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Well, that 2 meter band, that's high. That's VHF, 2 meters VHF, 440 and all that. That's ultra high right there. Ultra high frequency UHF. 440, and that's where your 440 is that the family FRS or the other one GMRS 70 centimeter?
I'm not sure. I thought GMRS was in the VHF range.
It might be. I'm not sure. That's why
I don't know.
That's why I'm asking you. Let me see. I wonder if I got my thing right here. I printed all this out that I got on my my double band.
It is in the UHF range.
Is it? Okay.
462 to 467. That's a pretty good size band. That's a 5 megahertz band. That's wide.
Whoever figured all this stuff out was one smart son of a gun, is all I can say.
Well, there was a lot of smart people that figured these out over time.
Like the very high frequency, ultra high frequency, and how to isolate this from walking over this one, because of the different frequencies. And pretty amazing if you think about it. And that was done many, many, many years ago. Just the concept of a TV transmitting images and sound over thin air into your living room, that was something, really, if you think about that.
Especially a TV, especially that, yeah.
Yeah, that's
radio is one thing, but actually watching somebody move on a screen, that's like, hey, damn.
You come out of the 1800s out west shooting them up with the Indians. and then 50 years later, you're it's like, wow, what a difference.
They were making movies of you shooting Indians.
Well,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And it's the only time in the history of man, well, that we know of. We don't really know all the things prior to the flood, Noah's flood, but we don't know how just sophisticated they got. And you know what I'm saying? Not really. But it took all them years, but like in the last 100 and something years, all this technology is just crazy how it just keeps multiplying like crazy. Now AI just in the last couple of years, YouTube is just covered with it. Just about every
Mhm.
video I pull up now is AI generated. You can't watch a real person no more. You hear a voice and you see a bunch of B-roll playing. It's like,
Well, we had it wasn't called AI, it was called CGI, computer generated imagery,
oh yeah, for
and that's
movies.
been around, but now they're calling it AI.
Yeah.
Wikipedia, you look something on Google, it says AI overview. All it is Wikipedia, a little snippet out of Wikipedia. They calling it AI. That's not AI, no. They
No, it's
just
all
getting real good at
it is
computer
generated,
generated stuff.
but it's done through artificial intelligence, and it's now anybody can do it if you got the right program on your computer. Like I don't know if Chat GPT can do the videos like I see on Facebook, but they make, like, if you're watching a cat video, like a cat, whatever the scenario, whatever they type in, for this to happen, then the computer generates this really realistic looking cat that runs out in the traffic, and the cars look real. The people that get out to help the cat look real. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all fake. It's just blows me away that's happened that fast just in the last few years. It's crazy. Almost scary.
Skynet. That's what it is.
Skynet.
But
No, that's not even close to being Skynet.
Well, with Wikipedia, anybody can edit and doc a Wikipedia. They can say
Right.
AI stands for blah 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 blah. That's
Right.
But AI is basically, like you said, it's basically like CGI. It's AI is like the stepson to the CGI. I would think.
Right.
But I always joke. I say it's Skynet.
But Wikipedia, we so used to seeing Wikipedia years ago when we Google something, or there was a search engine, like Google, years and years ago. It was called ask.com.
Yeah,
And it
I
was
remember
like
that.
Google, and you just typed in something, and like how many Super Bowls the Saints won or whatever. Well, at that time they didn't win any Super Bowls. At that time, just back in 2000, 2008, 2007, whatever. It was ask.com. Not, and then Google did the same thing as Ask. A lot of people didn't know about it. But anyway, when you Google something, it would just take little snippets out of Wikipedia, and answer your question. Well, now they call it AI overview. And actually AI, is dumb. It is. It's stupid, because they grabbing something off of Wikipedia, and sometimes that information they telling you is dead wrong.
Well, it's grabbing it across the internet in general. Everything.
Yeah.
In general. It's searching.
Right.
It's searching. It's actually saving you time and doing the same thing. But I think AI goes deeper than that, kind of like comparing it with CGI or whatever that they use in movies. Those are actually programmed, kind of like building a website, knowing HTML and stuff. You have to know the code to write for this computer to generate this. But with AI, you simply type in commands in your language, and it recognizes what you're saying, and it will give you what you're asking it to do without knowing how to code at all. It's gotten very smart, but it still is not smart like people, not yet. And I hope it never does.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Don't worry, Skynet's evolving.
Oh, I'm sure. the Russians too.
SCO. What's
The
SCO?
damn Ruskies.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I think back during the '60s and '70s, growing up, and I miss them days. I'll be honest with you. They can have all this crazy shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I tell you what, it's makes you think like me and you and Jeb. When we were growing up, man, it didn't take much to entertain us. We lived out in the country. I did, and hell, a couple of sticks. We could do anything with a couple of sticks. We had a rifle. We had a pair of drumsticks. A long stick. We had a rifle. We had a walking cane, like Moses had going through the desert, with his staff.
Oh, yeah.
We imagine things. Hell, I built a go-kart with some 2x4. And my dad was a house builder. A carpenter.
I
He was
did
a home
that.
builder.
I give me some
I
wheels
built
off
some
Red
old
Ryder
lawnmower. We had them small ones like that.
Yeah.
And my sister used to push me. I'd push her.
I built
some
I
two
built a
by
go-kart
fours.
one time. I took the wheels off my Red Ryder wagon and on some 2x4s, and then the front ones I had a 2x4 with a rope to where you could turn it.
Yeah,
And then
that's yeah.
you had to be pushed by your sisters,
Yeah.
to get it rolling. It's like, why not just leave it a red wagon and be done with it? You can turn it
Yeah,
too,
the radio flyer.
That's how it starts. That's how you start learning. Yeah, man, I miss all them days. It's done got plumb scary now, I tell you.
Me and a buddy of mine, we used to walk out on the country roads, and we would imagine things, like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we found a trash bag full of money,
Yeah.
Yeah, and man, we'd look through every trash bag we'd see. People back then, people didn't give a damn. They threw a bag of trash out of the back of the truck or whatever. They threw it, and then some people get used to it. And for you got a damn landfill growing up on the side of the road right there.
Yeah. Throw it there. Everybody else is throwing it here. I can remember,
but it was sporadic when we'd walk. It wasn't a pile of bags, it was just like one bag here, and then walk another 100 yards or whatever, another trash bag, and
right.
we had a stick, sticks with nails in it, and then we just grab that bag and rip it open to see what was in it. We didn't want to get no damn bacteria on our fingernails.
I'm old enough to remember us taking our garbage and putting it in these galvanized trash cans for the garbage pickup, and there was no garbage bags. They didn't sell garbage bags. You put your garbage right in these cans, and the garbage truck would come by, and it wasn't like today where they pick them up with these hydraulic arms.
Yeah.
They pick up the can, they dump it in the back, and then this thing would crush it. But there was no garbage bags. That's before Glad bags even come out,
Oh, yeah.
I'm that old.
A tin can with a tin lid on it.
And my parents get so mad because they go buy brand new galvanized garbage cans, and them old guys would throw it on the yard and have a big old dent in it then. That dent would be in it from then on. There was no.
Well, they do also. They'd rest it. The can. It was sometimes it was so heavy. They'd rest it on that lip.
Yeah.
And then they would bend that can right there, and then they you bent my can. Well, don't fill your can up all the way next time.
Yeah. That's good old days.
So the five horse tiller engine off my grandpa's tiller and put it on my go-kart. Man, that thing was like a Jeep. It wouldn't stop. That's it. And now you got them Odysseys, it's like a bigger go-kart, big tires, like kind of like a dune buggy, a go-kart dune buggy, call them Odysseys. Hell, you got them 8-horse Briggs and Stratons on them, and them things go. Man, they'll do 50, 55 mile an hour easy.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's what's funny. With all this technology and all, the garbage trucks still have to run by here and pick up the garbage. They do it more sophisticated with the hydraulic arms and
Uh-huh.
everything, but they're
Got a
still
little
picking
thing
up
that,
garbage.
that reaches out and grabs it. They got that little iron handle, aluminum,
Yeah.
whatever, stainless handle in that deal, and with it. Uh, Crap. Anyway, it pulls up to it, and they adjust it and grab it like that, and kaboom, and it's got a lid on it. I call them a little dippy dumpster. You know, it's a little
Yeah,
small.
that's what I
It's
got
a
here.
big trash
And
can
the
with a
truck,
lid.
the truck has these two arms, and it goes, "Meh," and then it goes into the can, then picks the whole thing up and dumps it behind itself into the container. Then it sets it back down, and
Mhm.
then I've also got a can for recyclables. Then that truck will come by here and he'll do the same thing, you know.
Recycle bin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one with the yellow lid. Green dumpster plastic with a yellow lid.
Well, guys, I'm gonna
Yeah, I
call
done
this
pulled
stream.
one.
We've been on 3.5 almost.
Dang,
Supper's ready, and I'm hungry and I'm tired. I'm
I hear you.
sleeping. I got about an hour and a half of sleep before the live stream. I was like, boy, if I wasn't dedicated to it, if it wouldn't have been set up, I'd have turned that alarm off and just went right back to bed.
I hear you. Heck yeah. All right,
So
Boo. Well, thanks for the
I
invite.
appreciate y'all guys coming in. Appreciate everybody coming in tonight and listen to us fellas talking.
That's right. Heck yeah.
Oh, you want to do your outro, Rut? Y'all want to do y'all outro and I'll do mine?
I just pretty much did it. Appreciate the invite. Chat, y'all have a good one, whoever's in there. And we'll see everybody next time. All right, Boo. I'm out.
All right, appreciate it, Russ.
All right,
Catch
man.
y'all next time. Jeb, appreciate you coming in.
Oh, no problem. It's been a pleasure coming in. So everyone's taking off?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. We've been on almost 3.5 hours. I'm hungry. Supper's ready.
Oh.
Missy cooked a pork chop spaghetti.
Oh,
You ever
I'll
had
be
a
right
pork
over.
chop spaghetti? Phil guy said, I'm on the way.
Two of my favorite things: pork chops and spaghetti. Put them together, and I'll eat them.
Yeah. I tell you what, pork chop spaghetti, especially like with pork steaks, you know, with a lot of fat in them. Oh yeah, that makes it. Chicken spaghetti. We cook that too. The chicken's got that flavor, you know, and the chicken fat in there, and it makes the spaghetti better. It does. Now, I mean, we still make spaghetti and meatballs, you know, we still do that, but you know, we kind of even it out. You know, we'll have meatball spaghetti one time, and then say the next time we do a spaghetti, it'll be a chicken spaghetti. You know, and then the next time it'll be a pork chop spaghetti.
Well, that's different.
Can't go wrong with
Yeah, and the flavors, you know, the flavors from the pork fat and the chicken fat
I can
comes
see
through.
pork chops and spaghetti, but the chicken and spaghetti doesn't sound appealing to me, but that's me. The pork chop spaghetti reminds me of Spanish rice and pork chops.
Oh, okay. There
Yeah,
you go.
that's fine. But I never really thought about chicken and spaghetti.
But
You know,
Missy browns it down first, you know. She browns all that meat down first because it's kind of like it's a red spaghetti, you know. It's still a, you know, a tomatoey sauce, but you have that essence of that. When you brown the chicken down first, it's kind of got that the grimise, we call it in French down here for the pot, and then you deglaze it. You kind of got a gravy, you know.
okay.
Yeah, and then we use a little bit of roux too in the spaghetti sauce. We use a little roux,
Oh,
like, you know, for a roux for a gumbo or like a shrimp stew or whatever. We'll put a little roux in it, and that throws it off too. And they say like, man, what's different about this? Johnny was saying one time, man, this is a good spaghetti. He says, I can't put my finger on it. What's in here? I'm like, it's easy, Johnny. It's flour and grease. Ah, yeah, that's it. Y'all added some roux in it. Yep.
Johnny's here.
Johnny's here. Where she's at?
all right. You
She
all
gonna
have
come
yourself a
running.
good-
All right, Jeb, take it easy. Appreciate you coming in.
Sure enough. You all have a good evening.
Plutarch. All right, Phil Guy, you next.
2 more hours. No. I was gonna do a stream tonight, but you on to 8:30. I said nah. I said maybe I'll do one in the morning.
Well, that's what time it is. Yep, 8:30.
8:30. Yeah. I got home at 6. I got home at 6:30. But thank you for having me up as always, and everybody's in the chat. And hey, go follow my stuff. Why not, right? Cheap
Go
plug.
watch it. Yeah.
And Will Wade is the LSU basketball coach again. They rehired him today, so LSU basketball is gonna start winning again. Hooray!
Hooray! Yeah. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all coming in. And y'all know the routine is good being north of the grass. Y'all stay safe. Be that way. Be that way. Stay safe. And as always, love, peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later. A Plutarch.